We are live. I believe we're live. Welcome, everybody. It is, of course, Leeds United versus West Ham United, or at least a version of West Ham United, a reasonably familiar version. I knew he was going to do it. I knew it. I knew it. I could tell from the way he was speaking yesterday. I could just tell. Right. Yesterday, it did. It did. I don't know whether it was on Sky News, and it was him talking about. It was him talking in whatever pre-match press conference. And Nuno was asked about Monday, and particularly he was asked about the inverted fullbacks and the strange selection. And he didn't say, "Oh, I got that wrong." He didn't. He said, "Look, we've had to try something different. We've had to try something different here. What was going on before wasn't working. So we try something different. It didn't quite click as I wanted it to, but Friday's another day. We've got to keep trying new things." Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. This didn't sound like he was gonna go back and do what he was gonna do against Everton. I did the video this morning. That's what I said this morning. I said, "I don't like what he said. This sounds dodgy." Well, it looks dodgy. It looks dodgy as hell. It really does. Anyway, welcome one and all. If you don't know what the lineup is, it's scrolling along the bottom of your screen, or at least it will be in a minute. I can't find any justification for this. Well, he basically has to win. So let me tell you what the team is. We've got Areola in goal, no problem there. Scarles is at right back again, and he is at right back again. I look, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I got it wrong. I just think he is. Maybe Wan-Bissaka's at right back and Scarles at left back. Um, and then we've got Todibo and Kilman. Something needs to be done. Look, as far as I was concerned, after the last game, sorry, let me run through the team. I'm puzzled. I'm puzzled. Areola, Scarlett, Debo, Gilpin, Obi-Wan-Bissaka, Souček and Irvin, Paqueta, Bowen, with some of them. I typed that out, so it's not necessarily in that order. Well, there was a number of things need sorted out. Don't fall back thing again, number 1. Number 2, sort something out at centre back. Now, that means either bring someone else in, maybe bring Igor in, or maybe go to 3 centre backs. Maybe he's doing that. Maybe he is. And to be fair, there's still room for 3 centre backs here if he plays Wan-Bissaka at right centre back. Maybe he's doing that. That might make more sense. The other thing he had to do was sort out midfield. That was terrible. Between, Irving, obviously Souček was just terrible. No striker. So basically, he didn't have much to do aside from sort out the defence, sort out midfield, and sort out the attack. It's look, nobody really wanted Callum Wilson, right? It's fair to say that. But we are in a situation that we're in, and with that in mind, you might as well play him. We've got nobody else. We need to get to January without being out of touch. And I don't s I didn't see anything against Brentford to suggest that it worked with Paqueta up front. In fact, he didn't do it. He dropped him back. Even when he dropped him back, he was gone. It was a lost cause. He's neither quick enough to get in behind, and he's not big or strong enough to hold the ball up. So he's got to again, I'm guessing, unless we're seeing a whole 'nother set of experimentation here. I don't think it is. Here's what I think we're gonna do. Well, it is similar to how I typed it up. I think Scholes will be at right back. I think Tadic and Kilman will be at centre back. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka will be at left back. I think Juff will play left wing. I don't mind that so much. The midfield is gonna be Irving and Souček again. I mean, you could not pick 2 less athletic I guess you could. I was gonna say you could pick Rodriguez, but you'd really wanna put Magassa or Potts in there for, some legs, some youth, some energy. I just don't understand what's happening there. I think he's gonna play Bowen's gonna be on the right, and then he's obviously dropped Fernandes, as you can see from the lineup scrolling. I'll put the bench up for you in a minute. I'm gonna click on this, and it's a bit early to click on one. I'm gonna click on this, from Pierre, who says 5-3-2, Irving and Souček up top and out the way. Now whilst I don't think he's gonna do that, there is a possibility of him playing 3 at the back. I don't think he is. I don't even believe the words I'm saying to you now. And just like Lee is saying here, playing Irving. Look, we all love it, swerving Irving, the Iron Brew, Iniesta, all that stuff, right? We plucky underdog, it'd be nice if he succeed, brilliant. But he's not a Premier League player, so, we wish him well. He should not be in our midfield there. I am really struggling to try and understand what Nuno is doing, and I can read some of the comments there, and I would be lying if I said I hadn't have thought it myself. Now I'm gonna need a mic check. Can people not hear? Is that right? Someone's saying mic check. Is that right? Can people hear what I'm saying? Hopefully you can. Um, Let me know if you can't. I'm gonna put my bloody earphones in now. I'm worried that people can't hear. Let me know if takes on about a 30-second delay. It's fine. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. Do you know what I do have actually? I realise I've got the thing playing in my ear roll. Anyway, it's a bit crackling. Okay, but as long as you can hear and we can hear you, we can hear you. Thank you very much. Loud and clear. Right. We'll say no more about it. Thank you for letting me know. I don't want to get too conspiratorial with it at the moment. All I would say is he's got to win this. He has got to win this. There was an excuse. There was reasoning that maybe you could pass off what happened against Brentford by saying, well, do you know what? You had the international break. The defence was away. Mavropanos was away. Juf was away. Wan-Bissaka was away. Okay. I get it. I don't know why he switched the fullbacks round, but if the excuse was you got to spend 2 weeks with a back four, I get it. I understand. But when it didn't work, and now you've had a few days on the training pitch and your players are back, why would you I don't know why you would revert to this. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. And that's just a defense. Look, Irvin look, it's just not good enough. I'm going to say it. I'm going to stop making excuses. Souček, we all love him to bits, but he's going to need a lot of pace around him, and he doesn't need to be playing in the position that he was playing the other day. Well, this is where he is. This is where we are. He's doing the same. Why would you repeat that mistake? That was as bad as I've seen. And I said it afterwards, and I checked myself, and I thought, after I did the video afterwards, I thought, hold on, I've gone a bit. I said something like, that's as bad as it gets. That's as bad as I've seen. I thought, hold on. Fulham put 5 past us. Palace put 5 past us. Arsenal put 6 past us. But this is not a team. I think I was very, very confident that Brentford were going to be a team that hung around at the bottom a lot this season. So I think that's the difference. It wasn't a team with their peckers up, and they should have beaten us 5-6-0. I just don't get it. I'd love to be able to give you an answer here. I don't understand why a manager in Nuno, who has played so differently elsewhere, who seemed to just break down his. I'll pick the bench up for you, actually. Sorry, before I get back to talking about it, just so you can see the bench if anyone's wondering. I think this is it here. If we go through his Forest team and you look at, a couple of mobile fullbacks, good blend in central defence with his name Milenkovic, is it, and Murillo. And you had a really nice blend in midfield, didn't you? Elliot Anderson, you had doing the playmaking, and Sangari. He's, he was your stopper in there, but good athleticism to him as well. And you had your creative player in Morgan Gibbs-White. And last season, certainly Elanga, Hudson-Odoi, Chris Wood as your big number 9. The component parts made sense. There was a load of round pegs in round holes. It is, and even looking at his Wolves team, I know he played 3 at the back and he played with wing backs a lot of the time at Wolves, but it all sort of made sense, didn't it? Even when he had the two guys, the 2 Portuguese guys in midfield, didn't he? He had Neves and I can't remember the geezer's name, but good player, good, sort of veteran Portuguese player. It all sort of made sense again. Round pegs in round holes. It's very hard to equate that manager with this, what we're seeing here, which is, if we've got any patrons in the chat, had a little when we did our patron breakfast this morning, we do it early, and Gio's not here today, as obviously you notice that now. He's a Girls Aloud reunion, but it's not actually Girls Aloud, to be fair. It's a Girls Aloud tribute band. They've been going along. It's Nan's allowed. So he's gone to see them tonight. And he was saying, "Oh, I noticed you said in your video Tinkerman." He said, "Yeah, something I'd more associate with Claudio Ranieri." And I did. I put Tinkerman in the video title this morning. I thought, I don't know. I'm just not sure. I wasn't sure by what he'd said. He's got that tinkering vibe about him. He's done it. Yeah. What are you going to do, eh? What are you going to do? I see you laughing, Mr. Levy Jr. Voice of an angel there. Hold on. No, listen. That wasn't a jam festival that he went to before. It was the Women's Institute Jam Making Guild. And say what you want about Gio, he makes a lovely gooseberry jam, a competition award-winning gooseberry jam, which is second only to his plum chutney. And I'll tell you what, if there's a man that deserves praise for his plums, it's Gio. Anyway, let's get back to. Actually, do you mind if I do a sponsorship thing? Do you mind before we kick off? Right, so I've got this fantasy football app. Right now, it's free. By the way, it's free. You don't have to buy it. You'd be doing us a massive favour if you download it. Though. You'd be doing a massive favour to Hammers Chat. All I can say is I'm playing it all the time. It's here. Oh, actually, look, it's even open. I should close it down so you should see it open. Hold on a second. I don't think you can see that, right? Right. It's the football club app. Do you want to see me team for tonight? Of course you do. We basically got a little. If you join it, you can join the Hammers Chat League. Got Hammers Chat Mini League. This is my team for this weekend, right? I won my first game last. Anyway, I keep playing it. I keep getting the agent to phone me up. It's a decent app. I'm playing it. You expand your stage. It's like a Football Manager thing. You expand your stadium. You get better. You get a better agent. You can upgrade the board. This is brilliant. I've upgraded the board. You might not be able to do it at West Ham, but you could do it on this app. Seriously, there's a description underneath this video. You'd be doing us a great favour, basically. We get a couple. I'm not going to lie to you. We get a couple of quid, or is it a couple of dollars? Something anyway. Every time someone downloads it. Just being straight up. Can't be more honest with you there. And we need all the money we can get. Might be in the Championship next season. We'd love you to do that. The link is in the description below. It will say Fantasy Football app. Click on that. We'd really appreciate it. We'll do a bet in a bit as well, if you fancy a bit of that. What can you do? What can you do about this? This is really hard, right? I put the team. Have we all seen the subs? Because I'll click off that if you don't mind. Hermanson, Carl Walker-Peters, Igor, Rodriguez, Fernandez, Wilson, Marshall, Potts, Magassa. I should have a double barrel one. I didn't put the comma in there. Excuse me. That's my fault. I typed it all out, which is why we're all going so low tech today. Let's get the first team back up. I had to double check that it don't even seem real. I'm trying not to be overly reactive, right? Because, well, for two reasons. I don't want to overreact and then we win. I want us to win. I want this, whatever this is that he's doing, the scrolling along there. I want it to work. I want to be the fool, and I want him to be the tactical genius. So I want to watch us win tonight, and I want to think, wow, why didn't I think that's the old switcheroo in midfield, the old Irving Souček pivot, the old playing the right back at left back routine. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Nuno's the genius. I'm an idiot with a crackly microphone. I bow to his knowledge. That's what I want to happen, right? That would be a brilliant review to do later, right? But I don't believe the words I've just said to you. I'm looking at that team and I'm thinking, that looks a bit crap. Right? No, you say, oh, sorry. Carl's asking, well, you're going moving too quickly. How can you keep a straight face? I don't believe the words I'm saying. All right. I'm just hoping for that. I don't like it. I don't like it, Carl. I don't like what I've seen there. That is a terrible, terrible team. Here's a good question. From Big Lee. So Big Lee says, where is Guilherme? Again, we had an excuse after Brentford, didn't we? So the excuse after Brentford, or for the Brentford game, was he arrived late back from Brazil under 20s or whatever it was. Well, that's no longer there. He's been training. We've all seen the training pictures. He's been training this week. He's just not been selected. Now, that is a really, really, really important point because we're lacking pace. I couldn't tell you if Guilherme's crap or brilliant, right? And maybe, just maybe, this is the third manager who's sort of not picking him, might tell you that he's not very good. I don't know. But as somebody pointed out earlier on in the chat, we paid £20 million for this kid, right? Rightly or wrongly. What I do know is he's the fastest person in the squad. And we're proper Steamboat Willie. We are slow as hell. We are running through treacle. I can't believe that midfield. I cannot believe that midfield. I really can't. Hold on, let me have a swig of my tea. I know it's Christmas mug. I'm not done the washing up. If anyone saw my video this morning, you're thinking, hold on a minute, you've not washed your clothes because you were wearing a nudie, and now you've not washed your bloody mugs. This is true. Let me have a little click of Keith. That's very kind of you there, Keith. He said, yesterday I looked at the team Moyes started with, and today I looked at the team today. This is depressing. Oh, you mean you've gone back in? Yes, retrospectively, looked at that. I think I saw it pop up on social media a few times today in a few different teams. Here's the thing. And in fact, I can't stop talking about it. How can we not talk about that team? I said this in my video this morning, right? There seemed to be a general consensus after the Brentford game that Nuno had made a mistake, that he would realise he'd made a mistake and he would never do it again. So I said in the video, I went, I thought that. Now I'm not so sure. He told us he was going to do this yesterday. He told us. Hold on. What we got here? Jadamonte Colours. He's riding a horse. So it's a 4-3-3 masterclass. Juff left wing. Scarles left back. Right, yeah. Well, listen, I do think Juff is left wing. I think you have to. His defending was atrocious. Yeah, but he wasn't on his own. Don't get me wrong. But okay, well, let's have a look at here. So Phil has said that BBC Sport has a lineup of 3 at the back. That's the only way, really, for me this defence can work, and that is with Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right wing back. At right centre back. Todibo in the middle, which is still frightening. He was awful, and Kilman, who was I was going to say wasn't much better, wasn't any better. He was just awful as well. But maybe 3 at the back helps. And then you've got hold on a second. Who plays right wing back in that case then? Who plays right wing? What have they got, Phil? What have they got? Because obviously that means Juff left wing back. Does that mean they got Somerville right wing back? Or I don't know. I'm honestly, the whole thing's confusing. None of it makes any sense. I tell you what. What's he going to be looking at? Honestly, they're going to be looking at it. Oh, Daniel Farke. I think we've got our phrase that pays, by the way. I don't need any suggestions. I got it. It's there. We'll do the bet in a second. He's going to be looking at the house. What's going on here? I bet even Farke didn't believe he'd do that. Let's have a look at it. I'm all for suggestions. Could well be the 4-4-2 again. Yeah. I mean, it could. Yeah, it could be that. It could be that, Harry. Chris thinks it's 5 at the back. So who's the wing back? That's what I'm saying. I don't know. You don't know, but for my own sanity, does anybody know who the wing back might be? So Scarles at right wing back. Crikey, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Bloody hell. Oh, hold on. You're helping me out here. Scarles at left. Now that makes sense, wouldn't it? It has to be any of these things that you clever lot are suggesting. Because if it's not, he's doing that thing again. And if he's doing that thing again, we're screwed. Absolutely screwed. Everyone's guessing. Everyone's got different things here. Everyone is guessing. And of course you're guessing. I mean, this is a slow team, by the way. This is a slow team. Scarles in midfield. Oh, man. Honestly, I've already seen 4 different 5 different positions Skulls could be playing him. We don't know. Old Farke don't know, does he? Should we do a bet? Anyone want to do a bet? I don't know what to do. Ordinarily, I wouldn't bet against West Ham. I don't want to bet against West Ham. Hold on. Happy birthday tomorrow, Brad. Happy birthday. I don't know what are you thanking Nuno for? You should be thanking me. No, it's happy birthday for tomorrow, mate. You don't know. You don't know. It may well, it could be a tactical masterclass. We may well look at this in the future and say it was absolutely brilliant. Yes, he does. He definitely does that. But he has to polish them first. Like he's got a little cloth and he places them in a cloth and he does that to buff them up. Then but he has to remove the seed. He has to get rid of the seed as well. Pips, some people call it. But he's not gonna like me giving his jam recipe. That's for sure. Right. Anyway, we'll have a bet. Let's have a little bet. Oh man, right. You'll have to excuse me. I need some suggestions here. I need some suggestions. Somebody, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. The 6th scoreline I see, I'm going to do, unless it's stupid like 10-0. The 6th scoreline I see, I'm going to put on as the bet. That's what I'm going to do. Oh no, I'm not doing a watch along tonight. Frankie is doing a watch along. Frankie will be along in a bit. I'm seeing through. Hold on, right. Okay, stop it there. Well done. Right, stop typing, please, with the scores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Joe, can you tell me, is this 2-0 to Leeds? I'm just going to wait for you to confirm that. Crikey, there's a lot of people in there. I'm just waiting for Joe to tell me. Phil Macook there. Hello, Phil. How are you? Yes, indeed, Leeds. Thank you, Joe. Joe, I'm going to take that. I'm going to do it. And the thing is, Joe, I'm blaming you. Because then I've technically not bet on West Ham to lose, which means you're going to do it. I need 2 Leeds goal scorers, but to do that, I haven't even seen a bloody Leeds team actually. Has someone got a Leeds team there? I need 2 Leeds goal scorers. Look at what the team is first, though, please. And we've got a lot of big people. Big Jeff, Big Lee. Is there a Big Dave? We've got a Big Dave. Can we have a Big Dave, please, in the chat? That would be nice. Okay, so Calvert-Lewin. I'll do that. Calvert-Lewin and Harrison. I like it. Well, I don't like it. It's bloody terrible. But Paul says Calvert-Lewin and Harrison. I will then come back to the chat. You're going to have to bear with me because I've got to multitask now. Things have got desperate there. And what I'll do is we will need a card from West Ham. I think we're going to bet on both goal scorers. Gio doesn't normally do this. We're going to bet on both goal scorers. So we're going to do Calvert-Lewin to score. Who was the other? Oh, it was Harrison, wasn't it? Calvert-Lewin to score. Where's Harrison? Someone's nicked him. That'd be nice. Scored a hat-trick against us once upon a time, didn't he? So I'm trying to find him on my list. He's not on the list. There he is. Sorry, he is. It's buffering. I think they're making up some new odds now. Tell you what, while we're doing that, I'm going to go and put the 2-0 in. Got to go and put the 2-0 in. Oh, blimey. That's not great, is it? 2-0. We're on the bet builder, you see. Bet builder, 2-0. It's not giving me odds on Harrison at the moment. Oh, well, I'm going to go back to the chat. See if by the time I get back, it's giving me the odds on Harrison. Let me pop down here. I can't do a GIF assist, Graham, because Harrison's on the bench. Thank you. Right, I need someone else. I'm going to look back, going to look up. Okay, I've got Todibo carded. I'm going to do that. I need someone else. Okay, Rodden from a set piece. Joe Rodden from a set piece. I'm going to do that one. If it allows me to do it. Crikey, this will be bad. But let's be fair. Stranger things have happened. Oh, blimey, that makes it nice. And then we set a Tadebo card, didn't we? We set a Tadebo card. Card anytime. Play at a score or assist. Right. So we've got that. Then we need the card. Play a card, Tadebo. Blimey, I tell you what, this is not great. I've got to be honest with you. Not great at all. I'm just trying to boost the odds up a little bit for you. Excuse me. I know it's not as slick, but I'm on my own. It's not easy. Normally, one of us chats while the other one puts the bet on. I think they've done us a favour. Whoa, blimey, that's good. I'm going to place that bet now. Right. Okay. Bloody hell. That's a whopper, mind you. It's quite unlikely to happen, isn't it? Right. Let's see what the bet is. Right. I'm going to read the bet out for you now. It's behind there. Leeds to right. Hold on. 2 seconds, you lot. What do we got? Right, so we have got Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score, Joe Rodon to score, Leeds win 2-0, and Tadebo gets booked. Right? If that happens, someone in the chat is winning £1,100 to be entered for this crazy bet. You've got to type this phrase, and we call this the phrase that pays. So you have to type this in, and then in the ridiculous scenario that this bet actually wins, I will go through and I will I'll basically pick out somebody that has typed the following phrase. Nuno has fucked up. You got that? Nuno has fucked up. Like Daniel Farke, like that. You got to spell it like that. While you're doing that, is that you, Nick? Is that you, Nick? I think it is. I think it's Nick. Sat at the beach there. Could be anywhere. Well, he's to be fair, he's probably in Lyme Regis or New Zealand. Knowing Nick there, looking a bit more New Zealand than Lyme Regis. Anyway, hello, Nick, if that's you. But thank you, Nick. If it is Nick, has said X just did an update. Last I heard, Skulls is right back. I knew it. I remember Saka's left back and Juffy's left wing. Paquet's 10 and some of them up front, but I meant to interchange them. I knew it. I knew it. He has lost the plot. I'm not X and not Nick. Nuno. This is by basically this. GWHUFC. Nuno has fucked up. Hold on. I'm telling you. This is gobsmacking stuff. I'm very rarely lost for words. Anyway, if you're wondering why GWHUFC or Frank has said Nuns has fucked up, it is because that is the phrase that pays. Type in the phrase that pays, and if our bet comes in, you'll win some money. 2-0 win for Leeds. Calvert-Lewin to score. Joe Rodon to score. And a Tadebo card. That comes in. Someone's, I can't remember what I said, 1,100 quid or something like that, wouldn't it? Yeah, there you go. That'd be a whopper, wouldn't it? Oh, I mean, this is just terrible. This is terrible. I want to read this out. Ben said the optimism from the Everton game has really disintegrated. What on earth is going on? I just don't know, Ben. I really don't know. Chris B. God, that's a fine fish, Chris. What you got there? Maybe it's a huge great white shark and Chris is just huge. He says, I don't care. Just win. We'd all take the win here, wouldn't we? We would all take the win. And I hope I'm wrong. You could take the Mickey in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video will be one tonight. Take the Mickey and say, you got it wrong, Gonzo. You said he'd fucked up and he hasn't. But it don't look good, does it? I'm not going to make any apologies for looking at that team and thinking that's a shocker. Does anyone know? Because I'm not surprised, right? You know this. Start of the video. My instinct was Skulls going to play right back again. Can anyone give me a reason for it? And I mean that. No hate, no fun, no ridicule. Can anyone think why Scarles might be, and I'm being serious here, a sharper tactical mind than myself, why he might play Scarles at right back? I just don't get it. Just get sick, so tired of all, and just get behind the team. We need this win. What I would say is on that, this is a weird selection, mate. It's a weird selection. And also, I'll tell you this now, anybody that the team can hear, namely the crowd at Elland Road, will be getting behind the team. If they are in the dressing room now listening to this, we are all screwed, quite frankly. So, yeah, this is, as I say, I would not give any hate on anybody that says I like this and this is a good lineup. And if that's what you're thinking, if you think it's a good lineup, then I want to know why. I want to know why we're playing this way. And as I said, I hope I'm wrong. And this is not me. This is not me being overly critical, by the way. Let me just tell you that if we lose this, then I'll tell you I will be, because this looks crazy to do this a second game. But I hope to be wrong. I very, very much hope to be wrong. Michael, inverted right back, but he in-swinging crosses to striker at the back stick or play it inside, not out wide down the channels. Makes us narrow in attack, overloads the middle. Okay, I like that. We'll have a bit of that. I like that. Turbo Jim says, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you lose this game, I'm Nuno. And there are some of our most important. Okay, sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I'm not mocking you. It's just, it is this soon, isn't it? I don't know. I hope he has some really good reasoning for doing this. And this is what I said. But there was someone was upset earlier about, sorry, I can't remember the name, get behind the team and all the rest of it. I said in this video, mate, I hope I am wrong. I hope he is the tactical genius and I'm just a bloke sat here on a webcam, so puzzled and I don't know what's going on. All right. And I hope, as I mentioned this at the start of the video, maybe you weren't here, but I said, hopefully I'll come to the video later and say, now I understand. How foolish of me. Now I get it. The old inverted fullbacks and the two slow blokes in midfield and whatever, the interchanging of positions up front. Brilliant. Honestly, I hope it's not even being proven wrong. I hope that basically my worries are put to one side, because I am bloody worried, mate. I'll tell you that much. I am very, very concerned with this, and I'm not alone. I mean, this is really it. He says, Gaz says, you're a manager and you watch Monday's game and you think this team will win at Leeds. This is it. There was nothing to. I would understand if there were some crumbs, right? If maybe there was a few things within that game where you thought, oh, okay, that's worked. This has worked against Brentford. I'll repeat it again. I saw nothing. Honestly, nothing. And I don't. And there's nothing statistically as well. We get this Y Scout report after the game, which breaks everything down like duels, aerial duels on the ground, 50-50s, every stat you can imagine, every stat broken down. So you don't know, you just get a feel and a vibe after the game. When you looked at the stats, some of them were shocking, absolutely shocking. What I want to say here is Pat, he wasn't doing this at Forest. I think that's the thing. This is why it's weird. This is not like the Forest Nuno. I don't know what he's doing. I really don't know what he's doing. And I just think there is so much. I'm just scrolling down all the chat here. There is so much good. Okay, it's how I see it. There's so much goodwill for Nuno because people are so sick of what's happened before, and people are so sick of the way the club is run and everything at the top. People are sick of it, right? Nuno did not arrive in this job with any portion of the blame at all. It's like, good luck, mate. Good luck working under this lot. It's not going to be easy for you here. So I find this weird. Even if he just tried his best and he played whatever 4-4-1-1 or whatever the case may be. I don't know. Maybe he thinks this is going to work. For me, It was all about for him getting to January so as we can bring some players in and not be out of touch mathematically. Aaron said, I believe the idea is for them to invert, step into midfield and we push forward, fullbacks, almost play as 10s with the wingers staying wide. And the footedness is to play more. I mean, see, I think I sort of understand that. I mean, this is what Man City do at sometimes, but this is not what Nuno does for a counter-attacking team. This is not. I find it odd. I find it really, really weird. In many respects, absolutely fascinated. Fascinated to see how this will play out. Fascinated for the start of the game. Good evening, John. He says, I've been to see West Ham at Elland Road many times, and it's one of the most intimidating grounds and atmosphere there is. It won't be any different tonight. It says hostile. It is hostile up there. Just what Ryan was saying there, really. Ryan's in the dugout there. He said, let's just hope we're not too far adrift in January. Let's see what Nuno can do in the window. He's inherited a very poor squad. I don't think he rates many of the squad. Yeah, that it would appear to be the case. But give yourself a chance to get to January. That's what I'm saying. And it's the thing. If he doesn't, he needs to get there. If this doesn't work and he keeps experimenting like this, then he's got a problem. Okay, let me try and make the case here now. If this works a little bit and we look much better and we lose narrowly and it looks like this system is 50% better than it was against Brentford, then you might say, okay, something's happening here. It's working. But I mean, it's very little that can. He's got to. He's got to get this right. I mean, I'm seeing what everyone's saying. Let me just click on there. Listen, Ford, you're by far the only person saying this. I've read 30 people saying this, so I'm not picking on you. Far from it. Why? Why would he try and get? I don't know. Or is it that he's walked in, realised how bad this club is? I always thought that with Potter. I thought he didn't know what he was getting himself into here. I don't know how much of it is true, but you hear he turned down Leicester, Ajax, and Wolves, and took West Ham. Why would you do that? And I do wonder if Potter. I think Potter was pretty crap, by the way. But the longer this goes on, I just think, well, actually, no one can do this job. Not now, because the club is in a right state. And Martin's given us a theory there that he realised the job is too big and he wants to sack. And I think what Martin means there is it's not that. I don't mean the club is too big into, the task is too vast. There's too much need fixing. That's what I mean. He's come in, he's got in. Whoa! No, I don't believe it. I'm not entirely sure that he's trying to get the sack. He probably doesn't need the money. Let's be fair. He probably gets sacked anyway if he stays around for long enough. What I have thought for some time now with any of this stuff is that it's almost impossible for anyone to look at this squad now and get a tune out of it because it's just such a mishmash of different players, right? Such a mishmash of different players that have been put together by directors of football, heads of recruitment. Sullivan's had a little go. Brady's had a little go. Will Salthouse has had a go. Moyes picked some. Lopetegui's picked some. Potter's picked some. You just got this. I was going to say box of celebrations. Box of celebrations is better than that. They've basically got a load of players that don't fit any one particular coach. Drain Hole Hammers says Sky have Skulls at left centre back. That would be something I would prefer that. I believe X has probably got it right, to be fair. I believe X has got it right. Excuse me, another swig of the old tea. Oh, do you know what? I'm dreading this. I am dreading. Absolutely dreading this. As Connor said, forget alcohol. I need heroin to get through. You know, I just thought when I was having a swig of my tea there, I thought, oh, this ain't strong enough. This is terrible. This is truly terrible. Right, we'll do a couple more comments. Hold on. I think we got a Frankie here. Let me drag Frankie in. Hello, mate.
How are you?
Terrible. How are you?
Yeah, good. Come straight from training, so bombing it down the motorway to get here on time, and then we had a little bit of fun with the app online, but we're all good.
Ah, good. Well, mate, thank you. When you were travelling back from training, did you see the team?
I did. Yes, I have had a look.
What do you now? I don't know if you know this. So, ex West Ham United employee has confirmed that it's Skulls at right back, Juff left wing, Aaron Wan-Bissaka left back, possibly Somerville up front. So it's not massively dissimilar to what we saw against Brentford. So yeah, let's have your thoughts on that before I hand over.
Me and Gio have spoken all week and said it has to be different, and it's not. And if anyone watched that on Monday night and thought there's something to take from it and a reason to try it again, I'm lost. But I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah. Are you? I mean, I'm actually sort of fascinated but dreading it as well. Yeah. Well, you got to be fair. I think you're in good company with a chat. To be honest with you, because I don't think anybody is particularly looking forward to this today. Can you give me any glimmer? I'm not asking you to lie, but can you give me any glimmer for this? Because I'm very, very worried. I'm very concerned.
I can, and it's the only thing I've taken all week.
Yeah.
At some point, you know, when an old player comes back to haunt you.
Yeah.
It always happens to us, right? Every single time. Surely it's got to be roles reversed at some point, and one of our players goes back to haunt one of their old teams. So I'm just taking hope that Somerville comes out and has an absolute weldy of a game and is the catalyst to making this whole thing work. I don't know. That's all I've got, unfortunately.
Well, no, mate, listen, that's Summit. We've had talk of inverted fullbacks making extra numbers in the midfield, and you know, I tried. Look, we've not actually lost a game yet, so I've tried not to go in two-footed. But the midfield is, look, we came away from that game on Monday. The defense didn't work. The midfield was slow as hell. Look, I didn't think Souček or Irving were any good. The difference is with Souček, he's got some credit in the bank because he can score a winner. Irving, we love him and it's a nice romantic story. He just was crap and he's got no credit in the bank. What I didn't expect to see was Souček or Irving. So I'm worried about the midfield and I'm worried about the attack. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Souček had a really poor international break, and that's normally where he looks his best. It's normally where he's most comfortable and he's most effective. He is the Czech man. That's great. And I don't know, he always had that box-to-box ability, and that was what he did well, and that was what we could forgive him for his limitations. But I'm not sure if he's still got that in his locker. It's disappeared from when he plays international duty, and we haven't seen it in a West Ham shirt for a while either. So yeah, concerned.
That's a worry. All right, mate. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you.
Have a good one. Nice to see you.
You too, mate. The bet was, if you wonder why people are saying Nuno farked up, that's the phrase that pays. If West Ham, it weren't me that chose it. If West Ham lose 2-0, Calvert-Lewin scores, Joe Roden and Tadibo gets a card. Someone gets 1,100 quid. So there you go.
Nice.
Well, yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully West Ham win 2-0. Enjoy yourself, mate. I'm going to catch you later. Everybody, enjoy the you'll enjoy the watch along. I don't know if you'll enjoy the game. Keep Frankie company. Keep the questions coming to him. Frankie, I'll catch up with you later, mate.
Yeah, no, cheers, mate. Dave the Hammer, stop being negative. I am Mr. Positivity when it comes to West Ham, mate. I am always optimistic, and I still fancy us tonight. I fancy us 3-2. So I think there's going to be goals in this game. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be action-packed, mainly because of the limitations defensively for both teams. But that could make for a cracking game of football, couldn't it? We could really see us go out there and go toe-to-toe, and it could be an exciting game. So let me put my phone on silent so I don't drive you all mad. Yeah, hope plenty of you are going to stay around and enjoy it with me. Just having a look now at what's going on. I like this geezer as well, Noah Okafor. I've liked him for a while. Good little player, so we've got to keep him quiet. Listening to old Mr. Daniel Farke. I think we might score 3 goals tonight. I just feel like if we're going to do it, this is the game. 3-1 to us. What's other people thinking in terms of a scoreline? We're getting beat 3-0. That don't sound good. Frankie, if we go down, we'll have the biggest stadium in Championship history, probably. I don't like the doubters, though. I remember going down to the Championship before, and we was regularly getting 30,000. I know that's now doubled, but I think you'll be surprised how many people we get in there. But we're not there yet, are we? I know there's been a lot of talk about relegation and so on, but there's a long way to go in this season, and we've got time to turn it around. I have to say, though, there's a lot of the trademarks, even like tonight, when you're sort of looking at it. And do you know the thing that always gets me is when you start to try and shoehorn players into random positions because what you've got isn't good enough. A bit like what everyone's trying to do with Magassa and all that. They're the warning signs for me. They're the things that you do when you are in trouble. So, yeah, we need to find a bit of consistency and find a team that, well, obviously, I know it's early days for Nuno, but he would have seen plenty of us. He obviously would have put a plan together when we went to Forest, and I know that didn't go too well for him. So he knows a lot about us. He's got to find our best team and our best system and what makes us tick as quickly as possible. And that's what he gets paid his money for. So hopefully he can do that. Yeah, Lee Vincent's put in there, Bowen's going to score. Fact. There are a lot of people who called Bowen out this week. I think we'll see an inspired Bowen in this game. I think he'll be bang up for it because I think he'll want to prove all them doubters wrong, actually. There's been a lot of different noise with Bowen. We've had some people calling out whether he should be captain. We've had other people calling out whether or not he, is returning enough at the moment and whether he's that player we can depend on. But I think this is the sort of game where you could see Bowen really come out and be up for it and want to prove everyone wrong. 2-1 to us. I think that's the obvious scoreline. I've seen a lot of 2-1s to us. 3-1. I've seen a lot of 3-1s as well. We don't know 100% the formation, but Gonzo said that X has confirmed that Skulls is playing on the right, Wan-Bissaka on the left, Diouf on the left. He's probably going to be a 5. Do I think Irving is better than Potts? I don't know. I can't see why Potts isn't getting a chance at the moment. I thought he looked good in pre-season. I thought he proved enough to show that he was, a very good, or he looked ready to me. He just looked like he was ready for this challenge. He was ready, and why now all of a sudden he can't seem to get a start, I don't quite know, because I just think his legs, I think he'd be Mr. It's mad saying it. Who would you trust to be in front of those 2 central defenders if it's a 2? Potts would be the one that I'd have faith in doing the best job. And I said this to Gio, I really fancied Potts in that role, and then Paqueta and Fernandes in front of him, who could be freed up to be creative players and get the balls to our forwards, because that's been a big problem for us, is getting the ball into Somerville and Bowen in dangerous areas. Against Brentford, we didn't get the ball to them anywhere near enough. So especially when you haven't got a natural striker down the middle, Then you've got to start feeding those two wide players. So, yeah, I would certainly have started Potts. I don't really understand what's happened there, but he obviously isn't fancied at the moment. So, Potts not even on the bench. See, so X was wrong. Everyone's saying that. Well, we'll see how we line up when we come out onto that pitch. No, Potts is on the bench from what I can see here. No, Fernandes hasn't been good, but I'm still not sure that I'm not sure we've seen Fernandes used in the correct way so far. I think he's been a bit of a victim of the players around him just being particularly poor, to be honest. Mass changes at half time. It wouldn't be surprising. Do I think Nuno would have got the best out of Alvarez? Whether or not Nuno got the best out of him, I certainly think if he is in the squad, he starts today. I think he would be an absolute guarantee to be in there. So, Antonio thing, I've seen a couple of people put the Antonio thing in there. We saw him play for the under-23s and he didn't look good. So I can't get on board with that. I think he's had his day, unfortunately. And look, we're desperate, but I don't think that's the answer. The thing that I think is a real big talking point, though, is when we're desperate for goals and we haven't got a natural striker, the fact that we're refusing to play Wilson at the moment, we either need to just get rid of that deal completely and actually get somebody in who we are prepared to put on the pitch, because what's the point in him sitting there every week and we're not even prepared to play him because we don't want to pay him his $100,000 or whatever it is. Harry Parker put, where's the boys? The boys just come back from training. He didn't eat. So he's having a quick hot dog. Not really footballers' food, is it? But that's his meal of choice. He loves hot dog. It's his favourite thing to eat. So he had food poisoning last weekend. He's only just started eating again. So he wanted something he really fancied. So I've let him have his hot dog tonight. He might creep in a bit. How good would Alvarez and Potts pairing be? Well, it certainly sounds a bit more exciting. Yeah, Marshall was a ghost the last game. Come on, looked very small, didn't he? But again, the type of player that Marshall is, playing one down the middle just isn't right. You meant Gio and Gonzo. Gio is at a wedding, so he's probably having a few sherbets tonight and enjoying himself. And Gonzo was here. He just left. So we only have one person do the watch along at the moment. So I've been drafted in while Gio's at the wedding. Hassan, thank you for the kind word, mate. I really appreciate that. Kevin Locke, Marshall needs weight training. Do you remember back to Jermaine Defoe? And Jermaine Defoe, when he was first starting to come through, they was talking about how lightweight he was. But at that time, we had obviously Tony Carr. We had some excellent. We just had an academy that was brilliant at developing players, and there was loads of stories that come out about how they got Defoe with his shoulders back. They worked on upper body strength, so he could lean into players and use his body effectively. We used to get youth players looking more like men and coming through with that sort of, there was a plan to get them be able to cope with the Premier League and the physicality of the Premier League. I just feel like we haven't done that in recent years. We've had a lot of good players always we think are going to make that step up. And where it tends to fall down is they look too lightweight. We never seem to see them grow into, looking like they can cope with the physicality of the Premier League. So I've always said, I think we've let our younger players down in recent years on not having a proper plan for them and to get them effective as they try and step up and start getting opportunities. And that's why we just haven't seen any of them break through. So don't see any point having wing backs without a striker. Yeah, I mean, it helps if the two wide forwards play more centrally and the wide players overlap and then look to play them inside. So it can be effective and teams do it. We've just not been very good at doing it. So Lee put Paqueta needs to step up this evening. Paqueta needs to put in a minimum 7, 8 out of 10 performance tonight. And if he doesn't, I want to see him get not necessarily the Ward-Prowse treatment, but I need to see Nuno, just actually say to him, look, mate, you've got to really step this up. I've got to see so much more from you. And the only way that I can see him shaking him up is pulling him for a game and starting someone else. So he definitely needs to put in a big shift tonight. And actually, I don't even want to see have to see an amazing game. You don't have to go and set the world alight, but I want to see 100% out of him tonight. I want to see him running more committed, more, just at it tonight. I've got to see that from him. Hammerhead thinks a boring 0-0. I'm going for goals. So is there a version that goes, well, bad from players on Monday, but if the performances are there, hard to imagine. Could see some exciting stuff this evening. Well, we've got to see something. Absolutely. Steve White said, thanks. Good luck with your first watch-along. First Premier League watch-along, but I did do some of them in pre-season. So I'm quite comfortable in this scenario, mate. So hopefully I can do you all a good service and, provide a bit of insight into the game. I do think we win. But as we all know, I always think we win. I find it hard to support a football team if you don't believe that you're going to go and win football matches. I always go in with positivity. And I tell you why, because I've travelled to places when we should be having no chance. And we've turned up and rolled the team over, whether it be going up to Old Trafford when Di Canio put that ball in, going to Stamford Bridge, bottom of the league, and winning 3-2, and Paolo Di Canio running off, going, Mamma mia. Like, those are the moments that we live for as a football team. And, I just always have to believe, because we've been in a lot worse situations and got results. So I'm up for it. Frankie Goldbridge, I'm not ex-Old Bill. I hear the boys coming out. I'm going to read a little bit of body language here, see if we look up for it. I look too young for those matches. Maybe moisturising routine. Who knows? But I was certainly there at those games. I remember that Chelsea one, that 3-2, and we all singing "We Are Bottom of the League." It really wound them up. So always have belief. When we got relegated, my old man always used to say, "Keep the faith." So I've got a West Ham tattoo here with "Keep the faith" on the bottom of it, and that is always my motto: keep the faith, always believe. Yeah, there's a few people making their feelings felt in the crowd. So we are absolutely still sticking with our guns. Yeah, 1,000 people watching. Amazing from all of you. So much appreciated. But any likes on this will be a huge help for Hammers Chat and Gio and Gonzo. So if anyone can do that, much appreciated. The West Ham Massive. Good evening, Frankie. Good luck with the watch along. Question: what would be your formation and personnel tonight? So I did do this with Gio previously. I wanted to see a 4 at the back with Diouf, Wan-Bissaka, Todibo and Kilman. I wanted to see Potts in front of the back 4, Fernandez and Paqueta as 2 in the midfield. I wanted to see Somerville left, Bowen right, and I wanted to see Wilson down the middle. So that was how I would have played tonight. But we've certainly got a very, very different team to that. So, yeah, someone's just said there about Souček. I've been a big defender of Souček, big defender. And I'm starting to fade with my support of him. I've always felt he's 100% man, gives everything to West Ham. And that's all we've ever asked as West Ham fans is committed players for that badge and people who give everything for the club. But in terms of his footballing ability, he used to be that box crasher, get in there, get his head on things. He just don't look like he's got the legs to do it anymore. And his performances for Czechia over the international break, a lot of their very loyal fans were starting to call him out as well. So maybe we have seen the best of Souček now. And if we don't see some improvements for him and him to start affecting games, the fact that he don't really play the ball out too well, especially in this system we play in. It's quite, we've just said it's important to get the ball into the wide forwards. Souček don't help that. So yeah, I get that at Ionix, and but I am starting to see less of that effective Souček as what we've seen before. I'm still not ever going to slate him because I do think he gets West Ham. I really think he gets West Ham, and I think he gives absolutely everything. While it may not be always with the best outcome, I think he always does try and would always give everything for West Ham. We just know that his ability isn't, quite there, and it's starting to fade off. Yeah, Harry Parker said about Somerville to score. I've called that tonight. I fancy him a lot. Going back to his old stomping ground, I think he might turn up tonight and maybe show some of his best form. The boys just doing a little tribute before the game kicks off. No, David Green said Souček hasn't played well for Czechia for 18 months, not the player he was for them too. I think that's exactly what we're seeing. We're just seeing a bit of a decline in him getting forward. So Rubber Fingers put a possible Desmond. He fancies a 2-2. I went for 3-2 West Ham, so I'm going one better than that. But the West Ham massive, I know it's extremely unlikely to happen, but what does anyone think about the vague possibility of getting Ben White in? I've never been a big fan. He's another one who, when he's on it, he can be a good player, but he switches off. And I mean, didn't he come out and say before that he don't even like football at times and stuff like that? It's a bit of a worry for me. David Sutton said, why do Everton want Souček, a player who's needed right now? Yeah, I mean, that is it. He has got plenty of fight. He will give it everything. Adrian just put, will Cray get one over on Dartford tomorrow? Cray have been in good form. We're up there in fourth. The men's team are looking... They're gutting last weekend, though, conceding so late in the game. 94th minute, we let the other team score an equaliser. And I just felt it was coming as well. I just was praying for full time to come before they got the goal. But throwing those 2 points away was a little bit disappointing. Yeah, Souček hasn't shown a lot this season. That's what we're saying. Those things that he used to do well, getting in the box, getting his head on things, picking up those loose balls and putting them in the back of the net. He just don't seem to have that about him anymore. So it is when he limits that, playing the ball out quickly from midfield. Yeah, Cray are playing Dartford tomorrow down at Flamingo Park at Cray Wanderers ground. And it's a brilliant ground. They have a brilliant sound system down there. They've got a massive, massive outdoor screen down there now. The upstairs bar, if it's a bit chilly. And they serve really good food down there now as well. So for what it costs to get in there, always worth getting down to Cray. Lee Woodard said, right, chaps, how many shots on target? He's saying 2. Well, I've said we're going to win 3-2. So we need to have more than 3 shots on target for that to happen. So I'm going to go 6. Right, we need a positive start here. I think it's important that we at least come out and try and show a bit. I want us to be positive. I don't want us to sit too deep. A wild ball into the box, easily dealt with by the Leeds goalkeeper. Yeah, Diouf's left wing. That was something that they said would happen. Yeah, Skulls on the right again. Yeah. Oh, Bowen's tried to nick the ball off him. Leeds trying to play out from the back and almost put them into trouble. Bowen working hard. And a free kick to Leeds. Yeah, Skulls on the right again. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, very interesting. I mean, when we was out of possession there, we are in a 4-4-2 formation. So very, very interesting. I think that will transition though. I don't think it will be a flat 4-4-2. So it'll be interesting to see how we move around there. Thank you for the super chat from Dadu Blenny 82. Thank you very much. Yeah, we definitely need someone. Yeah, it is a 4-4-2 at the moment, but I'm not sure it will stay like that. We'll see. Leeds making a lot of noise, as you can expect, at Elland Road. Yeah, we do need some character though, and we do need someone with a bit of that bite in the midfield. Have I no clock? Let me just check the thing in here, everyone. One sec. What we got here? I've got that. Oh, Leeds. Ball into the box. Back post. Easy header. Great save by Areola, but they've put it in. How easy was that? How easy was that? Just the first attack, really. And one simple ball into the box. And the person, I'll need to see it back. Whoever was supposed to be marking that man at the back post, he literally just muscled him out of the way. So easy. Areola done well to get down, and then we're switched off. They're switched on. They put the ball in the back of the park, so in the back of the net. So ball comes across, simple ball into the box. Whoever that Ollie Skulls, nowhere near strong enough, unfortunately. Not switched on enough, and then who's in the middle and doesn't react to Debo. Just not switched on. Fell asleep. I mean, that's where you've got to be ready to clear the ball. And Tadebo makes a complete and utter mess of it. And 1-0. So easy. Just as I was putting the 0-0 on, that goes and happens. So look, we're in trouble already. We've got a lot of work to do. No, Skulls, he was marking. He just let the man get the better of him too easy. He just outmuscled him, got in front of him, and it was easy from there. Yeah, commentator saying we just can't deal with balls into the box, and it's absolutely right. Ionix, you need an early goal for a 3-2. So I am still sticking with that scoreline. I am. 3-2 West Ham is on. You always need an early goal for that 3-2 scoreline to happen. So there we go. Need to go and get one now before 15 before the 15-20 minute mark. Get it back to 1-1, and then it'll be game on. I ain't one to react to early goals like that. I know probably there'll be some channels screaming and shouting now and throwing their toys out their pram. This is football. Sometimes it goes the wrong way. You know, look, it was a terrible start, but you go again. And as long as we get up there and we go and get a goal back nice and quickly, then it'll be game on. Irving's got a problem here. Yeah, Stevie Ray, what a fantastic comment. 4-4-2, no striker, classic. I mean, that is a fantastic comment, that, mate. And yeah, I mean, you can't really sum it up, can you? You're playing two strikers for the first time in however long, and we haven't even got a natural striker on the pitch. So very, very random. Yeah, Lief, stop the ball getting into the box. I couldn't agree with you more, mate. If you struggle defending crosses, not even if you struggle defending crosses, I used to get frustrated with Soufal, because for all of his running and all of his hard work, he never stopped the cross coming in. He'd always put his arms behind his back and he'd always sort of jockey the player, and the cross come in every single time. So it used to really frustrate me that Soufal never used to stop the cross, and we should be doing it now. As soon as that ball got played out wide, one of our boys should have been on him straight away, shutting that down. Yeah, unfortunately, Skulls, you know, he wasn't good there. And he needed confidence. After the other night, he was desperate just to get a foot on the game. And unfortunately, the first thing that he's had to do has gone very, very wrong. West Ham Massive has asked who we sign. I'm never great with those sorts of things, mate. I mean, that's what we've got. That's what we pay a lot of scouts. And, you know, we've got people at the club who are out there to highlight players. Nuno will have a type of player that he wants. And, oh, that's better. Wan-Bissaka's away down that left-hand side. I want to see how natural this looks to Wan-Bissaka on the left. Nice ball into Souček. Out to Diouf. We know Diouf can whip a ball in. But do you really want him whipping balls in when you've got no proper centre forward in there? Knocking it around the back line now. I felt like we had an opportunity there to try and put them under a bit of pressure, and we just sort of passed it casually back to the defence. Annette just said there, well, I'm not going to read the whole name because it's a bit of a play on words, but the Great Escape season again. I actually think we're going to need something like that. I said it to Gio the other day. We're going to need a transfer in January that's so inspiring, who really kicks on almost as like an Arnautovic season or someone like that, and really gets us out of trouble. I think that's the only way I see us surviving. I see the Skulls experiment is working. Yes, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, you look at that. Does Wan-Bissaka deal with that at the back post there? If Wan-Bissaka's playing out there, maybe. But Wan-Bissaka's got a habit of switching off as well. So, I don't know. How long would the fans put up with the lineups? Yeah, I think it, you know, I think we're all we've been very patient in recent years with some of the good ball into the box. Bowen's there. What? Oh, unlucky Bowen. Follow it up. Unlucky Bowen. Acrobatic bicycle kick. Got it on target. Keeper saved it, but parried it. And then, unfortunately, where they reacted and knocked the ball straight in, we didn't have anyone quite following it up as well as they did. And the ball was cleared. But very, very unlucky from Bowen there. Almost a moment of magic. And the keeper actually does well in the end to get rid of it. But that was better. And I was, you know, a little bit, do we want to put balls into the box? That's what they can do. So maybe we shouldn't be afraid, even though we haven't got a natural striker in there. Maybe putting those balls in there will cause Leeds a bit of a problem. Yeah, number 6, saying that he can't believe Nuno has had teams, you know, that were playing West Ham, and that Nuno feels like this is the best lineup for us as a team. It's play Skulls on his best side. It would certainly help him. Yeah, he doesn't look comfortable on that right-hand side and always looks a little bit worried. And like we said, after the performance he had on Monday night, he was desperate for a bit of confidence. That won't have done him any good. But actually, Skulls has been in this sort of position before where he's had some iffy moments and always bounced back quite well. He doesn't seem to be a boy who gets too phased. So hopefully he can keep his chin up and have a positive game. No, it doesn't seem necessary when you've got Wan-Bissaka and Skulls. It's not to me like he's scouted Leeds and gone, there's a weakness here. I want Wan-Bissaka to go up the left-hand side because I think he's going to cause them problems. It's almost like it's just I'm swapping them for no reason. I don't quite get it. Play them the other way round and they're both in a natural position. Yeah, very random. Although I do like the idea of Wan-Bissaka and Diouf down the left-hand side. I mean, that would be, you know, two players getting at that down that left-hand side. They could cause teams a lot of problems, them two. So let's hope they can get a little bit of an understanding going together tonight. Should be playing Sheffield Wednesday. Well, Sheffield Wednesday might not even have a club soon, the way they're going. It's a shame. Obviously played Charlton the other day. Amazing support. Had like a complete packed out, or Leeds are in again here. Well cleared by Kilman. But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday went down to the Valley. Massive away crowd. And they're a proper football team. Sad to see what's happening to them. And as bad as we are, you know, going into administration is, and you know, potentially waking up tomorrow and not having a football club would be the worst case scenario. It would be awful. John says, I can't imagine Nick from Claret and Blues being as calm as you at the moment. Told you we're going to win 3-2. So this is all part of the plan. The West Ham Massive says we have an annoying habit of failing after a few years of success. Absolutely, we always do it. One step forward, two steps back. That's West Ham. We do it every single time. You think we get an opportunity to kick on. We think we get an opportunity to, you know, move forward, and somehow we get it all wrong and end up worse than when we started getting going. So frustrating. Skulls got the ball here. Played it into Kilman. Nothing silly. Back to Areola. A big hoof up the pitch. Yeah, it is always mismanagement. They've never capitalised on us being in a better position as a football club. And we've said it before. You know, Nuno was the best that we could get in terms of a manager. But if we'd have done that when we'd just won that trophy and really kicked on, you know, we could have gone out there and had such a pick of top quality managers. Yeah, it's certainly not a good start for us since of Nuno's reign. I'm just not seeing the normal Nuno. Here we go. Another set piece always makes you nervous. And it's 2. Well, there's the 2 of the 3-2. We just got to go on a 3 in a row run. Again, how we can't get hold of this set piece scenario, I can't really understand. Can't keep letting it happen. It's ridiculous. Too easy. Every single time a ball comes into the box, we get nowhere near it. And yeah. Diouf's trying to clap at the players, trying to shake them up, ask them what is going on. Let's see who's let their man go this time. Ball in. Who's Kilman's there and Todibo, both of them. Kilman and Todibo, zonal marking in the middle. Both of them jump and miss it. And Roden comes in behind. Skulls is actually the man who's marking. No, okay, so he was in behind. So, yeah, zonal marking in the middle between Todibo and Kilman. Souček was behind him. So you've got 3 of them lined up there. Souček, who never actually makes a challenge. Todibo seems to jump out the way of it. And it goes over Kilman's head. I can't understand it. Cannot understand it. We are Italy Record says that was Paqueta's man there. Yeah. The thing is, when you have them two in front of you, you expect those two in that zone area to win the ball, but they don't. Absolutely, Brent's got it right. We'll now go 3 in a row, 3-2, and I can say, see. But we have got to get hold of this game quickly, because at the moment Leeds are just knocking it around, and we're not. I mean, it's just so easy for them. So 5-3-2 now. But again, we've now changed our in-game formation, all because we've scored 2 from because we conceded 2 from set pieces. I don't really understand why we've reverted to a back 5 when we're not conceding from open play. I don't know. Wayne Morris says Scholes at right back was a great decision. Dan Johnson says we're almost as rubbish as them. That's a Wolves fan. We're both doing very well at being not very good at the moment, that's for sure. Ryan's off to watch the darts. Absolutely full perfect. 3-2. They've got their 2. Now we're going to have this miracle comeback. It'll be like that. Was it Everton that time when we won on a mad goal scoring spree at the end? Yeah, scoreboard. Yeah, you're right, mate. You're right. I'll tell you the problem that we've got. Gio spoke to me before the game and said that he's only gone up to 3-0 score lines. So basically 3-0, 3-1, 3-2. So I'm not going to go above that because I'm not anticipating any team scoring 4 goals. We could be very, very wrong there, couldn't we? Yeah, unfortunately, we do look worse than we have been. Again, by playing players out of position. Callum Wilson warming up. At some point, you've got to get the man on the pitch, whether you like it or not, and whether you agree with the fact that every time he steps out there, you've got to give him a boatload of money. At some point, you've got to play the striker, the experienced striker you've got up front. It is what it is. Ray's got a bottle of Lefroy. Very nice, mate. Love it. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I think if Gio did have his phone out and was keeping an eye on it, I think that might have. Ref's not giving anything there. Went bundling over in the area, but nothing. Oh, no, John, I'm not reacting like a man that knew we was going to lose. I'm reacting like a man who knows we're going to win 3-2. I'm just not panicking, mate. This is a really great point. Omnipolo. People can't blame James Ward-Prowse when Souček is ghosting every game. I've said this. When Nuno came in and did that Ward-Prowse situation, I said, I hope he's not a bitter old man who is making an example of a player because of a falling out at a previous club. This is a new club. It's a new job. And, you know, it should be you draw a line under it and you go again. Instead, he came in, made an instant example of him. But what you must do is you must be consistent. If you're going to do that to Ward-Prowse because of a lack of effort, a lack of whatever, it's at the moment, Tracy Bubbles, Scholes is down. He looks in a bit of discomfort. There's nothing actually happening at the moment. He doesn't look great. Yeah, broken collarbone, dislocated shoulder, something like that. He looks in a lot of pain at the moment. So the game is currently stopped. It's hard. I mean, Steve, there, you know, we're sort of, it's just all gone wrong for Scholes. He was in the team. He came out of the team. He's been given another opportunity out of position. He's then had 2 really tough games, and now he's really gone and hurt himself. It looks like he's coming off. Wilson is coming on. Wilson is stripped. He's coming on right now. Again, why we had to wait for this, I don't quite know. This should have happened from the start, but there you go. Yeah. I mean, who was it who said it will be a massive overhaul and load of changes at half time? Basically, we'd have to just try everything again. But I did call out Nuno for the last game that he didn't make changes in the first half when it was clearly obvious it wasn't working. Well, he is making changes now. Wilson hat-trick. Jonathan Greenwood, how are you, mate? We are taking inspiration, if it's the Jonathan Greenwood that I think it is, of where you went from with your owners and your club. Jonathan is a Newcastle fan, by the way, and how you've turned it all around and now in the place that you're in. We need to do exactly the same as you, mate. So I hope you're good, mate. Yeah, it's good, man. Hope you're good. Hope you're well and enjoying the better times that you're having now, mate. I mean, I've always really liked your manager, and obviously his assistant manager is a proper West Ham boy. I wouldn't mind having them two round us at some point if you ever get bored of them. Can we hope for a waterlogged pitch and abandon the game? It ain't a bad shout. We are crying out for a real captain, and actually it's moments like these ones that you need a character and you need a captain and you need someone to get the team by the scruff of the neck and yeah, just try and drag yourself out of the position that we're in. Lee Vincent, Wilson's going to score 3. I told you all, 3-2. I've not panicked. Wilson's going to get a hat-trick and we'll all be dancing. I can see a lot of people sort of calling out Nuno's decision-making at the moment, and it's quite early for that to be the case. But I think we all know, or all knew, that Potter had to go, and he looked clueless. So the fact that people think he's even more clueless than Potter is, yeah, concerning. Bring back Noble, says the Burnham. I think he should be more vocal than what he is at the moment. We certainly need his, yeah, we just need his West Ham character, the West Ham way. He just knows what it's all about, don't he? And what it isn't about is going to Leeds like this and folding. On a brighter note, let's try and switch it up because I've just had a good flashback from Leeds. Who remembers when we went to Elland Road? We won 1-0. Nigel Winterburn, header at the back post. What a goal that was. What a game. We was all there singing, "You'll never get Rio. You'll never get Rio." And then I think next week he actually signed for him. So they did get Rio. But that was a good game, that was. Funnily enough, we was talking about hot dogs earlier on with my boy. I actually went down to get a hot dog just before half time, and that's when Winterburn scored. And yeah, I had to go running back up to see the celebrations. Ollie Scholes off and Callum Wilson on. I feel like that was a decision, a false decision. Does Nuno change that without that happening? I don't know. But maybe, certainly not for Scholes. I feel really sorry for him. But this might have been, it might save the game. In a weird way, it might save the game. We've got a striker on up top now. And Scholes is no longer at right back. Matt Cleveley watched Fenerbahce last night and Alvarez had a great game. No, you do wonder, mate. You do wonder. Like I said before, he would have been a starter. He'd have been the starting lineup tonight, 100%. There's no way he wouldn't have been. So West Ham massive. 2001. It must have been about them, mate, that Leeds game. It must have been about them. Barry Fisher just said, looks more balanced now anyway. I actually agree. I think the side might be a bit more balanced now. And yeah, like I said, it might be, I won't call it a blessing in disguise because one of your players getting badly injured is never a blessing and having to go off. But it just might save the game. Because if we'd have waited till half time, it's a long way back. We need to score before half time and get back in this. So Wan-Bissaka back into his natural right back position now. Diouf has gone left back, so while that takes a bit of attacking play out, whilst Somerville has looked like he took it down on his hand there in the midfield, but the ref hasn't given it. Just trying to have a look at how he's using Wilson here. This Irving in the middle of this all worries me, I've got to say. Go on, Wilson, get there unlucky. I dare say it. Looking a little bit better. No, certainly going to be Wilson down the middle. David Mull says, when was the last time we scored? I can't remember. Yeah, Paul Clark, I get what you're saying there, but however, I actually think we needed that shift in formation, and I think we needed the change. I actually think we'll look better for this now. Yeah, Lee Vincent, come on, mate, looking more positive now. Let's get on that. I like that. Look at that, though. Corner goals conceded in the Premier League this season. We're 9. Aston Villa 3, Fulham 3, Leeds 3. 9 goals from corner. Oh, my God, Diouf. What have you just done, mate? No reason for Diouf to try a backheel there, and he backhills it, completely gets it wrong, and just gives them back possession, gives them a throw-in. Absolutely ridiculous. No need to do it. Gordon Paisley think it's time to get on the old sauce. Good evening, Dean. Yeah, Leeds just passing it around so well. They look like they know what they're doing. They look organised. They look together. They look like a proper team, Leeds. And we look just all over the shop, completely clueless to what we're doing. This is the difference between a really drilled team who know exactly what is expected of them versus a team who look totally and utterly clueless. Yeah, Scholes is injured and went off. Shoulder problem. Did look very uncomfortable for him. Josh says, do we come straight back up? I believe we do. Irving trying to mix it up in the middle of the park there. He hasn't won the ball, but he's won us a throw-in, but he's trying to put himself about a little bit. Diouf thrown into Somerville, but almost threw it into him in a really dangerous area. Diouf's done a little turn, played it all the way back to Areola. No worries, Dean, mate. No worries. Yeah, Gio's at a wedding tonight, so you've got me to deal with. Wan-Bissaka's tried to free up Bowen down the line, not on the same page, just gives the ball straight back to Leeds. Opportunity to win the ball there, Irving. Don't get anywhere near it. Not good enough for me. Leeds player just leant across him, took it on the back foot and made it look so easy. Irving's got to be better there. Good strike from the edge of the box from Leeds, but it's blazed over the bar. Again, just looks so easy. Won the ball back off Irving just by putting his body across him. Leeds 1 or 2 passes. They're on our edge of our box. No one closing him down. Free shot at goal. Too easy. Too easy. Can't play like this in the Premier League. Yeah, Simon Hughes has said it has to change the midfield. This Irving and Souček thing is just absolutely crazy. And it ain't digging Irving out. He's never been at the level we need for the Premier League, and it's showing right now. It really does stand out like a sore thumb. Tadebo's kept the ball in, but given it to Leeds, and now Leeds are back attacking us again. It's all one-way traffic right now. Again, on the edge of the box, loads of time, loads of space, not a midfielder in sight. And luckily, their attack breaks down. But again, it's all so easy. John Fresher, Frankie, you're doing a great job on a watch-along. Is it my first time? My first Premier League watch-along, but I've done watch-alongs in pre-season before. And I do a lot of different YouTube stuff in a lot of different places. So I'm quite comfortable in front of the camera. If he makes any change in Dean, spot on, mate. If he makes any change in midfield, it will be Rodriguez. It will be, and it will change nothing. I mean, Potts must be sitting there. Oh my God, we got away with it. A really nothing ball across our box, and we just panic and didn't know what to do with it. Mark said we're not laying a glove on them. Brilliant comment. We aren't. We absolutely face for TV, face for radio, mate, for certain. Absolutely a face for radio. I agree with that. All right, Souček to Irvin. There's the midfield partnership. Bowen's there. Give it to him. Just, if you're watching this as a manager and you've just seen Irvin and Souček there, great ball in from Somerville. Paqueta's fired it across the box. Unlucky Wilson. Somerville's picking it out on the left-hand side and just knocks it straight off for a Leeds throw-in. Yes, Dean, I remember you from the pre-season matches, mate. I do. Massively appreciate you coming in there, and yeah, thank you for jumping in tonight, mate. Very much appreciated. That could have been free. No. I mean, we're knocking the ball across, and what Dan Potts did so well in pre-season, and actually Ward-Prowse did very well at it as well, was that when we had the ball in defence, Ward-Prowse would always show for the ball on the half turn and get the ball out and moving forward. Souček and Irvin are not doing that, and it's making it very, very hard to play out from the back. A ball in, go on, put it in. Get in now. Is he onside? Paqueta scored. It's in the back of the net, but it looked offside to me. Yeah, it's offside. It did look offside. Gutted that. And he's off. Paul says, where Guilherme gone? Yeah, he's not getting a look in right now. Oh. Orange Pill's going to watch paint dry. Just CD Bradley's just frightened his dog with a celebration. The only thing is, I don't know the rule with regards to a player playing it off of another player, and there was a Leeds challenge in there. It's the rules are all odd, and yeah, I'm sure there's something to do with if it plays off another player and it's not offside. We've had some of them go against us, so this we know he's in an offside position, but it's the way the ball gets to him that could go in our favour. Do I steal anything from Jazz? No, I don't, unfortunately. I haven't heard from him for a very, very long time. I'm not quite sure why they're checking the lines here. It's so obvious that he's ahead of the defender. We know that, but it's how the ball gets to him that's the thing that should be looked at. I'm not sure they've looked at the right thing there, personally, but Dean's not actually watching it tonight. First game I haven't watched in about 6 years. Youngest is poorly, mate. Kids always come first. Totally understand that. John Fresher, Frankie, I'm 68, member, great nights under the floodlights, Upton Park. Was lucky enough to see the great man play at Upton Park along with Jeff Hurst and Martin Peters. Yeah. I'll tell you who I've had down training the boys. We had old mad dog Martin Allen training my under eights the other night. What a character. He's just, when you see a professional at work, you enough see the levels, and that man is just the sort of person who would really, you'd just want him in a game like this, just someone who could really grab an hold of it and put in a challenge that makes everyone come up and just go, yeah, come on, like, you know what I mean, just put in a big slide tackle somewhere, really hit someone and set the tone of, right, let's get back in this game. Just don't have that. But I'm not sure that's just a West Ham thing. I think that's Bowen's let a shot go, never really threatening. Yeah, I'm not sure it's just a West Ham thing. I think it's a modern day football thing. It's just not what it was. But that's not to say there aren't them characters floating around here and there, but they're certainly few and far between now. All Hammer says, so disappointed in Nuno. Thought he would get rid of the rubbish. I did. I thought that Nuno was a no-nonsense man. I thought he used to make examples of players. He used to absolutely anyone who weren't at the level, he'd come down on you, he'd drop you. I thought he was one of those. I'm not seeing that from him. I'm seeing a softer side to him that I really didn't think it was what he was all about. I really didn't. Come on, Somerville. Put them under pressure. Just want to see us have a little. Again, they just bypass the midfield. It's like we haven't got a midfield. Oh, little flick from Somerville. Trying to create something, a little bit of inspiration. But again, look, just walking through the midfield. Irvine, he's never getting there right now. Whoever the ball is, Irvine, he's tried, the fella. He has tried. He's really made an effort, but he was never getting there. The Leeds player chops him like he ain't even there and gets a shot off. Potts must be sitting there and saying to himself, he must be doubting whether he should be a professional footballer. Because if this fella is keeping Potts out the team, it's a massive problem. I can't get how we haven't got Potts on this pitch right now. Cannot believe it. Yeah, he was like he was running in mud, weren't it? He was never going to get there. And the Leeds player knew that. And then a little cut, and it was... Mako says, was at the game when Martin Allen came on and smashed Colton Palmer into space. Legend. This is what West Ham used to be about. If we were in a position like this, we would just have one of them players who'd put in that challenge and really fire everyone back up, and the crowd would get up. Somerville's trying here. He's given away a free kick and probably going to get a yellow card. He has. But he is trying. I can have that. It's just an heavy touch, and then he's really overstretched, and that, unfortunately, is always going to get a yellow card. But he's... James Gunn said Somerville was a faster Benrahma. Yeah, and actually, I was never a fan of Benrahma, as people may know. But I have been a fan of Somerville. I do sympathise with him a little bit that he hasn't got no central striker to play off of. But Wilson's on the pitch now. So I need to see more from him in this last 5 minutes. We desperately need a goal before half time. I don't know how that's going to come. Obviously, it was unlucky when Paqueta put it in, but we've desperately got to find a way back into this. If we get to half time and 2-0, it's a long, long, long way back. And yeah, someone said there it smells of relegation. This has those hallmarks. When you've been through it a few times and you recognise the things that happen when you got relegated, there's so many of them. So many of those boxes are ticked now. And you've just seen it before. You've seen it before. And it is a big, big worry. Brent Fraser says, Somerville reminds me of Kudus, frustrated good player at a club that's not good enough. He should leave. I never feel like anyone should leave. And I feel like West Ham don't really shout about their history enough. And we don't act like the club that I think we are. I think we are a massive club. I don't think we act like a massive club. I think we've got full of history. And I think when players come to West Ham, they should be proud to be at this football club. I don't think we have that feeling anymore. And I remember when Repka left and he was crying. And there's been so many examples of that, of players in tears when they leave the football club. James Collins, I was out in Croatia with James Collins recently, loves West Ham. Obviously, he was in the Arsenal away end. Everyone was singing 10 more years, Ginger Pele. It was such a special football club. And I remember when I was a schoolboy and I'd take my mates there and they'd all come, whoever they supported, they'd come away wanting to support West Ham because they just love everything about us, the atmosphere, the fans, the passion, the outside of the ground, Upton Park, everything about it was incredible. I just feel we've lost a lot of it. And I think that, a lot of people were saying recently, we don't really have those West Ham through and through players anymore. And again, that is a part of modern day football. But it's also part of it not having an identity and us not behaving like the West Ham that I know in any way, shape, or form. We don't have that arrogance, that bite about us anymore, that we always believed it. We'd turn up everywhere thinking we could get a result. We always stood together through thick and thin, through the good times and the bad. And, we always had fight in us no matter what. And I just don't see it no more. And that is a culture thing that comes from the very, very top. We've had what we had, which was so special, diluted and washed out. And it's a shame. Anyway, we're going to get this goal before half time in the next 2 minutes. And then we're going to kick on and win this game 3-2. Callum Wilson hat-trick. All right, come on. Trying to play out from the back. Kovac and Valeron Barami was better than this midfield. It isn't a midfield. The midfield is non-existent. I'm not sniffing glue, Dave, but I am on the coke. Come on, put them under. Get at them. There's going to be about 45 minutes added on. Absolutely. There will be. And we need it, don't we? Come on, win that ball. Here we go. Win it back higher up the pitch. Paqueta's trying to take on 3 players. He's actually done quite well. He's playing Brazilian street ball right now. And Irving just... Oh, go on, Souček. Drive. Somerville's got it on the left. Ref, you going to give that? No. Just getting out muscled. We tried to mix it up there and still weren't good enough. And that is my biggest worry. Even when we try And even when we really try and dig in, we're still not good enough. And that's a problem. James Fleming is frustrated with Irvine, and I echo that completely. Would you rather Nordveit or Irvine? Cool. Nordveit was Who remembers? Does anyone remember Vladimir Laban? He was the worst of the worst. I remember him against Arsenal, and he was getting run ragged. And he was looking over to the bench because he was getting absolutely done. And he was going, take me off, take me off. And the bench were like, there's nothing wrong with you. What do you want to come off the pitch for? He just needed to get out of there. He wished a big hole would. And it's a ball across the box. Went into Areola, luckily. And again, oh, the ref has given it. Very, very late. Yeah, we need Nuno to start. 13 minutes added on, so plenty of time to get this goal. The tide looks to be turning a little bit here. We've got time. Somerville's looking like he fancies it. Bowen's looking up for it now. Wilson's down the middle. Paqueta's starting to make a bit of an impact. I'll tell you what, and I know this is a big shout because we look so poor. But if this midfield was different right now, I'd fancy us to get this goal before half time. I think the only reason we might not is because we haven't changed these two central midfielders. Tahinian, yeah, Tahinian. That performance from him up at and Sebastian Schemmel was the other one, weren't he? Okafor, get up. Said about Okafor before the game kicked off. I've always liked him as a player. He's cut inside there, bent one to the back post. It must have been close. That would have been game, set, and match. But we still survive. There's a couple of moments here. This game could have been absolutely dead and buried, but somehow there's some very small bit of belief to still hang on to. Yeah, should be 4-0, 4-1. No, I agree. Slow, backwards, should be 4-0. Brent Fraser saying, couldn't agree more. Ball into Somerville. Somerville's come right into the middle. Paqueta's picked it up. He's again playing Brazilian street ball. He's done well. Got it to Wan-Bissaka. Bowen back to Wan-Bissaka. Irvine now pops it into Paqueta. Paqueta's tried that over-the-top ball that he's given to Bowen a couple of times, and we've got goals from it, but it's too long. That glory ball that he likes to play. And unfortunately, he put way too much on it. And I'm not even sure it was on, to be honest. Clayton said, where is our midfield? We haven't got a midfield. That is the reality of it right now. We don't have a midfield. And I cannot believe that we haven't changed it. That was better from Wan-Bissaka. What Wan-Bissaka just done there is what Skulls needed to do for the first goal. Be aggressive, get a good jump, get a leap on the man, win the header and get the ball away. E. Davis said Fernandez and Magassa needs to start. I would have had Potts in front of the defence and then Fernandez and Paqueta in front of them. I think that would have freed up Fernandez and Paqueta to really allow them to be creative and join the attack. And yeah, so I don't know. Darren Person, no pressing midfield at all. They can't press. They haven't got the legs to get there. They literally, they just have to try and sit in that middle, because every time they do try and press and they get out of position, they can't get back. It just leaves a gaping hole in midfield. Mark said we haven't put a cross in yet. We did early doors, and Bowen had a nice acrobatic sort of bicycle kick effort from it, and it was unlucky, but not much more than that. Full perfect. Right, Frankie, question for you. Do you really think Fernandes and Magassa are going to change the game from what you've seen? I don't think Fernandes and Magassa changed the game from what I've seen, but I do think Potts in front of the defence to give us a bit of security there, to allow Fernandes and Paqueta to try and get the ball into Somerville and Bowen more. I do think that would change the game. The problem we've got at the moment is Somerville's trying. He's working hard, but he's having to drift over centrally to try and find the ball. We've got no one getting the ball out to Somerville at the moment. Paqueta's trying, but when you leave Irving and Souček in behind him, it's just like they just walk through our midfield. If you've got Potts sitting in there, breaking the play up, Indie Media Productions said, can you see Potts at half-time? I can't, because there's no evidence that Nuno fancies him and wants to use him at the moment. The refs allow play on here. Irving's got an opportunity to get the ball in. Souček on the edge of their box into Bowen. Bowen's come out to the left with Somerville. He's fired a ball across. No good. I mean, again, just a bit all over the shop. Somerville's tried to get down the line, but Aronson's put it out for a West Ham throw. It's a nice ball from Irving into Somerville there, but he's got two men on him, and that frustrates me. Somerville's got two Leeds players on him. There's Diouf and Irving, and they're both standing there just watching. Neither of them trying to help him. Neither of them trying to give him. They're literally standing still, watching him try and deal with two Leeds players. Not enough commitment and not enough. A big head forward from Diouf. Wilson's try, got it in the corner. Done well to play it off the Leeds player there. Somerville, again, we're just in each other's way. No real idea what we're doing. Wilson's managed to put a ball across, but easily dealt with by Leeds, and the ball's gone out of play. Costa Hammer says, possibly the worst West Ham team ever. We've had a few bad ones, and this definitely wouldn't be far off. The camera's just panned to the West Ham fans. There's a geezer with his hands in his head. Looks totally just distraught. Yeah, I think we're all feeling the same way, mate. Indie Media Productions says, Frankie, you would think seeing Irving doing nothing all half and the last game, Potts needs to come on. No, I agree with you. I don't think he started. The 26th Fickle, we're still on the 3-2, but we do need a goal before half-time. Tracy Bubbles says, Frankie, do you think Sullivan is picking this team? Tracy, I've always felt like Sullivan treats West Ham like a real-life football manager. I can't disagree with that. It does feel that way at times. And, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? A ball in from Wan-Bissaka, deflected off a Leeds defender, comfortably into the goalkeeper's hands. Yeah, these are one of the ones, and I've always said this actually, that when we're here and we haven't travelled, and then you see some of the fan cams and you see some like fans get really upset. Leeds on the attack here, slipped a ball down the left. Diouf struggling with it. Again there, Diouf can't defend. Diouf cannot defend. Bogle's firing up the Leeds fans. He's throwing his arms in the air, giving it a come on. They're up for it. We're not. Diouf has to follow track his man. It's a simple pass, and Diouf hasn't got a clue what to do with it. All he's got to do is step across the defender there, get his body between the defender and the ball, and he comes away with the ball quite comfortably. Instead, Diouf's made a total mess of it, and Leeds have been able to get a shot on goal. I really do struggle with Diouf's defending. I'm not suggesting he hasn't got, a lot about him going forward. But as a left back, he'll cost us goals. Somerville, again, working his absolute socks off, coming so deep to try and win the ball. Diouf knocked it long to Paqueta. Leeds. Paqueta's won a free kick there for the Leeds player going into the back of him. There weren't a lot in it. Yeah, full perfect. I just said I can't understand what Diouf is doing here. Always had my worries with certain parts of his game. No, Diouf isn't a defender. I agree with it. Ball into the box. Souček. When Souček's on song, I feel like he scores. It's a good ball in from Bowen. Souček's finally got on that sort of penalty spot, between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. Get it towards goal. And it's unlucky. It's better. Yeah, and on song Souček, that's in the back of the net, that. Rose still got the belief with his come on you irons. Somerville, get the ball out your feet, mate. Yeah, Gio said about this clock situation. What do I need to do with this? How do I go about setting a clock up? What do I need to do? Do I need to get like a big app with a time on it or something? Anyone's got recommendations for a clock? I will do it now. Leeds attacking. Again, we're making a mess of the defending, but we have come away with a ball. Digital clock widget. Diouf's got the ball on the left-hand side. Oh, I've added a big clock to my home screen, apparently, although I can't see one. And that's the end of the half. Booze from the away end. Lewis says, instead of a clock, can we put up a relegation countdown timer? Yeah, I mean, a very, very tough half. The 3-2 is still on, though. Simon Hughes says he has to change it now. Harry Carbell says, you're all right, mate. Enjoy you speaking on Hammers chat lately. Thank you for that. Massively appreciated. Relegation timer. That's what we need. Yeah, I mean, I know they're all very wild accusations of Nuno wants to get sacked and all this sort of stuff. The way he's going about things at the moment, it sounds crazy, but it actually feels half possible. The way that the decision making that he's got. I mean, I personally believe the only reason that half got better is because he was forced to make a change with Ollie Scholes. I'm not sure he makes any change if Ollie Scholes doesn't get injured. And that's a mad thing to say because he clearly, if you can think that you watched that on Monday and you pretty much want to line up a very similar way in this game, what did he see on Monday? What did he take away from Monday that made him go, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with exactly the same team that I saw. I can't get my head around it. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I really can't get it. I don't understand it. And then I said on Monday that it was so obvious after half an hour that this system was not going to work and we was banging trouble. He didn't change anything. Okay, once we went 2-0 down, he did then go to a back five. But we've conceded 2 goals from set pieces, not from open play, and all of a sudden he wants an extra defender. I can't understand that. That don't make any sense to me. And the only reason I feel like that got any better, which it didn't get a lot better, but it got mildly better, is because he was forced to make a change of Ollie Scholes. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And whoever the comment was, in fact, if you are the person, and I can look back and I'll check afterwards, who said mass changes incoming at half time, you couldn't have been more right. Message me or Gio, and I want to send you something out of my personal collection of West Ham memorabilia just for having it so bang on. Just what a fantastic comment it was. Absolutely just nailed it. And I think we've got to see it. It needs to be an overhaul. Give me what changes people would make at half time here. What would you do? I feel like we have to see Potts. I don't think he will. But we can't. We will not turn this game around with Souček and Irving in that midfield. It doesn't change. If he lines up with Irving and Souček at the start of this half, you're conceding to a loss already. And I want to see him try and turn this game round and win. Keithy Dreams says, honest question, Frankie, do you think Hammers Chat can continue with us in the championship? Well, I think it would be a very big ask for Gio and Gonzo, and they would need a lot of support from everyone who has supported them over the years. I can, because I'll always make myself available, and it's not my life. I have a business that I run, and so I don't have to depend on Hammers Chat. But I'd hope you'd all stick behind them, because that's what we do. West Ham, we're West Ham United, and we all stick together. David Green says, Frankie, agree. He has to be asked your questions, even if we get a point. And this is it. I don't really understand the lack of fight in the second half against Brentford on Monday night. And I want to see a massive reaction in this second half. Big. Absolutely. And why don't we, like Leeds were there, where they're going, come on, and they're up for it, and they're giving it everything. And they clearly have been bang up for this game. They knew that we were a bit of a wounded animal at the moment, and they saw this as a big opportunity to get 3 points, and they've gone at us with confidence, with organisation, with having a team that's very, very well drilled, and clearly they all know what's being asked of them. They had a plan tonight. We look absolutely all over the shop, but we massively need to see a huge reaction from Nuno and these boys in the second half. Yeah, Peter Chelmsford said there, no team spirit from the start of the season. The players don't care. That's how it feels. It feels that way. And I want to see Bowen. I want to see him show a bit of character. I want to see him having not a go at players. What you don't want to do is you don't want to fall apart. You don't want to start screaming and shouting at each other. But you can lift the players. You can lift the team. You can lead by example. You can go out there and get the game by the scruff of the neck and try and drive us on. I do feel Somerville was trying his best out there, but unfortunately, he's been so isolated, and we've really struggled to get the ball to him in good areas. He's dropping so deep, and this is the problem. You look at someone, you think he ain't had a great game. What's he managed to do? What's he actually achieved? But it's how he's having to play that isn't suiting him as a footballer, isn't suiting his style of play. We've got to be better at getting the ball into these wide players. Get Martin Allen in to save us from relegation. I'll tell you what, he's coaching, the level of his coaching and how people listen to every word that man says. He's brilliant, Martin Allen. I've got all the time in the way. He's mad as a box of frogs. He's an absolute lunatic. But everything he says, he has people listening to every single word, and he's a proper character, and he knows his stuff. I mean, he had my boys playing like prime Barcelona. The football we had them playing, and the bounce passing and moving the ball quickly. He was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, again, you're listening to the commentary here, and I know there was a few comments with regards to the goal that we conceded, the first goal, and it being Paqueta who left his man. They've just said there, Kilman and Todibo are the two players zonal marking that area. They must go and attack that ball, and they must get their head on that ball. I absolutely put it down to those two as to the reason why. And Scholes for, how he was in the phase of play before that, where he let the man get in front of him. Just not good enough. So, yeah, do you know what? I'm really disappointed with Todibo. I fancied him as a player when he came to us, actually. I really thought that he would be a good defender for us. I thought he'd be a ball-playing defender. He'd move the ball into midfield quickly, drive out from the back. Yeah, I really thought that he'd come in and make a big impact, but he hasn't. He's been all over the place. And actually, it worried me. When I was started to get really concerned about Todibo was that Bournemouth night game. We had Bournemouth in the cup, and he looked, after 15 minutes, he couldn't run. He was puffing and blowing, and he was banging trouble. And I thought, what have we signed here? This geezer's supposed to be a professional. He can't even run around for 15 minutes without blowing. That was the warning sign for me. Joe Grant says he's sat with Mad Dog now. He's fuming. Watch it. I'm absolutely sure he wouldn't be impressed with this at all. We need characters like him in and around us at the moment. People who know what West Ham's all about. We've got to bother with a second half, Mason, because the 3-2 is on. WHUFC USA. Hope you're good. The three managers don't fancy Guilherme. Sean, we've seen Guilherme in little spurts. He looks so lightweight. I watched him all pre-season. Nothing gave me the confidence that he was ready to play Premier League football, unfortunately. But that's typical West Ham, isn't it? You've got that Estevao and who's the one who went to Real Madrid? Both kicking on and trying to do a bit. And the one that we picked, he's looking like the runt of the litter, unfortunately. So we've gone out there. They've got this crop of amazing youngsters. Hendrick, that's it, mate. Thank you. And it seems like we've gone and picked the dud. So that's typical of West Ham, unfortunately. Joe Grant, that's what I've said before, mate, that there's 30 games to go. Let's stay positive. I agree with that. The best thing we've got at the moment is time. And I know time runs out quickly. It catches up on you fast. And the worst thing that we've been guilty of in the past is when you get into that point and you fall so far behind and you get 3 points, but you still don't get out the relegation zone, or you get 3 points, but the other teams win around you, you just get stuck. And it's a horrible place to be. It's, we fell victim of it before. And yeah, we don't need to get ourselves in that position. So while we've got time, we have got to start getting points on the ball as quickly as possible, or otherwise it starts to become too little too late. Arsenal fan here. How did you think about the West Ham squad before the season started? We had concerns. We didn't sign a proper striker. That was always a big problem. I don't think we ever really felt we'd solved the midfield issue. We signed Magassa and we didn't know much about him. And we also signed Mohamedou Kante, but they're both very, very young without Premier League experience. So, yeah, I was always very concerned about the squad going into the season. I don't think we strengthened anywhere near enough. And I just didn't feel like we'd made a big enough impact with the signings to to improve on the form that we had last season, because we were terrible at the back end of last season. So this is my problem as well. Ked DW said Leeds are not great. We're making them look like a very, very good side right now. There's no question they're up for it. Leeds have been very, very impressive, but they ain't a great team. We've made quite a poor Brentford side, and actually a Leeds side that's only won 2 games all season. We've made both of those sides look like world beaters, and that's the worry. I Am Crumpton says, last season I said we'll be relegated this year if we didn't get the transfers right, and we didn't. Very sad. No, I'm with you there, 100%. Pat McKenna, I'm watching this in a Millwall pub with my friends. One's a Spurs fan, an Everton fan, and an Arsenal fan. They can't believe it. Come on, you Irons. I mean, that's it. It's not until you actually, some of these fans from other clubs watch how bad we are that they realise what trouble we're in. I think you don't get this feeling. They all think, oh, Lucas Paqueta and Jared Bowen, and you've got Callum Wilson up front for a bit of experience, and you've got the Wan-Bissaka. How bad can it be? And then when they watch it, they realise. Sorry, someone's mentioned the clock again. What am I doing with this clock? How do I sort this clock out? What have I got to do? Is it like, what sort of clock is it? Is it a clock of what the game time's on that I'm watching? Is it, what's the situation that I need? Game clock. How would I even do that? Oh, I could put a timer on, couldn't I? I think this I could do. So as it kicks off, I can whack that timer on and job done. There we go. Yeah, I can do that, and I can stick it on here. I thought that would be high enough. Let's see if I can prop it up on something. No changes. Wow. Yeah, it's quite mad, that. Yeah, that is what we need. We just need... I'm using StreamYard. Right, I'm just sorting this out. I need to make sure my screen doesn't turn off. There we go. Clock. Let me do it from the actual time. Sorry, 1 second. Do it from 46 minutes. Well, Dice got a fantastic result last night, didn't he? So is that behind the score? I actually thought that would have been... let me move it into the middle. I'm going to time it. Bang on 46. No changes. Can't believe it. Mad. Absolutely mad. If you've watched that first half and thought, oh, this is great, carry on as we left off, you'd be wild. Oh, no, that's gone the wrong way. Yeah, I'm afraid, boys, I'm just going to have to give you a time. I'm on 46 minutes, 22 seconds. Because I just don't want to be sitting here quietly. And although some of you may prefer that. Right, we've got to start more positive. Bowen's got it on the right-hand side of their box, and they've cleared it out for a throw-in. Up high on the right-hand side. No, we didn't get a manager bounce at all, did we? Paqueta's got it on. He's put the ball, tried to sort of find Souček at the over on the far side, but it was a poor ball in actually there from Paqueta. I need to see better from him. Paqueta's dropped in. Bowen's tried to play the ball forward. Souček's gone. Oh, Souček's in it. Oh, that looks soft. That looked very, very soft. Souček looked in. That looked soft to me. Oh, no, he's grabbed his shirt. Souček's got hold of him like that. You can't do that, mate. Well, like I said, you know, this is how Nuno earns his money, by making big calls, making big decisions. These lineups are what he's paid to do. And he's decided that this lineup is the best to get us off to a good start in the second half. Let's see if he's worth his millions. Yeah, Michael Taylor, he's not been great, the ref, but he's got hold of his shirt there. He had a big hold of his shirt. That's always going to be given as a free kick. He didn't even disguise it. If you're going to do it, get close and hold it in tight. He's like that. A few people have said this must be deliberate. A few people are calling him out already. No, a point isn't a good result, but would you take it now? Again, just no midfield. In fact, Paqueta's had to drop a lot deeper into this midfield. I mean, that's going to be a tough old ask of Paqueta to keep coming so deep into that midfield to try and help Souček and Irving out, and then also try and get forward and be as high as Callum Wilson at times. That's a big ask. Luke Mullen, would we recall Alvarez? Like I said, if Alvarez is at the club, he or within the squad, he starts tonight. So on that basis, you'd have to say absolutely. But the only problem you've got, we're in a relegation battle, and I don't think he wanted to be here. And at the end of the day, do you want players around you when you're in a bit of a dogfight and you need everyone pulling together? Do you need someone like that who don't want to be there? I think we've got to rely on all of the players who are showing the right attitude at the moment and the desire to get us out of this problem. Oh, it's tough. Tadibo just wild. Well, James, I can't disagree with that, mate. 50% Alvarez is certainly better than Irving. It's just that whole unity and togetherness of a squad. One bad apple can make everything unravel. So Ian Henderson there says, I'm sorry to say our captain just isn't showing enough. Where's the leadership and fight? We called for that at half time, mate. We said we need to see him get the game by the scruff of the neck. It does look like he's putting in a big shift so far. He's gone for a big header just then. I think Bowen's up for it. I just don't think it's in his personality to be vocal. I just don't think that's him. Yeah, another stray pass from Tadibo. It's just Very hard work. Dean Marsh said earlier that we actually missed Alvarez. I know he was a liability, but at least he got stuck in, and that's it. I mean, it's just we're missing the very basics. Just someone who's prepared to put their body on the line a little bit. Someone who's prepared to get in there. The West Ham massive. That's a great question. Did Alvarez want to leave West Ham or get away from Graham Potter? And that's the $1 million question, mate. I think the only thing that I've seen it recently a little bit. Where we had a change and players still left. We sort of said with, who was he as well? Aguerd, when he come back to us after being on loan, and we thought, different manager, is they going to get the best out of him? And never did. And he ended up still going out to Marseille, wherever he went. So I think it's the club at the moment, to be honest. I don't think the manager makes a difference. I think these players come in. I think they see where the club's at right now and just think it's not a great place to play football, regardless of the manager. Hammer Crow says, get Potts on the pitch. We've been calling for it all game. But as I said, I just don't think Nuno fancies him for whatever reason. Steve's on the Uzo. Well, I can't say Burner Boy Jones that it's not a tough watch, because it is, mate. But we're West Ham, and that's what we do. Right, come on, get that ball. Throw in on the right-hand side. We need to get it. Be fast, be sharp. Paqueta's so deep now, but he is getting on the ball, which is a good thing. And Paqueta's on the ball again. I think this is going to be a focal point of this half. I think Paqueta's going to be very deep, and he's going to get himself on the ball and try and make us tick a little bit, because Souček and Irving can't do it. So lovely flick from Paqueta to Wan-Bissaka. Somerville now on the left-hand side, looking for a runner, and everyone's just standing there watching him. No one moving. Makes life very, very difficult. Ball down the line. Somerville's kept it in play. He's been easy. Deuce put it across. Okay, it's a little bit better. Keeper's celebrating. He did kind of make a little bit of a mess of it, really, but he did enough. Yeah, DC said, what does Somerville actually do? I mean, he's been bright there. He's almost made something happen. I don't put it down to Somerville. I just don't think we get him the ball in good enough positions. And Paqueta's having to drop very, very deep to get on the ball. You can't expect all your players to have to keep coming miles back to try and get involved in the play. We're just not very good at getting the ball to our forward three. That's our biggest problem right now. And that boils down to the midfield that we've got at the moment. It's just nowhere near good enough. Yeah, time at the moment, 55 minutes and 8 seconds. 55 minutes and 8 seconds on the timer. Yeah, Ian Henderson, we're doing very good. We played Dartford. We won 18-0 against Dartford in our first game of the season. We then played Footscray Lions. We won 21-1. We then played Blackheath and we won 13-0. And last weekend we played Danson Sports and we won 12-0. So we're doing very well, some big results, but we probably need to go up a league. But we're a project at the moment, and we're just learning to do all of the right things. All right, Wan-Bissaka into Todibo. Todibo's made a successful pass, so things are going better. Kilman's given the ball away. So Todibo actually manages to pass to another West Ham player, and then Kilman decides to totally give it away and put us under pressure. Absolutely ridiculous. And here coach want to play for West Ham. I think a few of them would like to. We've got a couple of boys that ball into the box, made a mess of it, luckily. So we've got a couple of boys at Chelsea. We've got one boy who was at Dartford Academy. Tonight they were with Alexander Cox, who's the head of advanced development at Arsenal. And their other coach is George Evans, who's a current striker for Bromley and a big West Ham fan. So if George Evans or family is watching this, we love having George around us because he's a current professional. He's 18, plays for Bromley. He's a striker. They all look up to him because he's where they all want to be. So it's nice. They've got everything they could want in place to make them the best footballers that they can be. So I love every second of it. I pretty much coach 5 or 6 times a week now. So get there. Diouf kept it in. Deliver. Put one of those good balls in the box. He hasn't. He's hit the first man. Yeah, Diouf has been poor. Ball in. Irving straight into the keeper's hands. And I said we also had Mad Dog Martin Allen come down and train him as well. So that was superb. So he was he got him playing really good football. Love it, the West Ham massive. Yeah, I think in a minute this what we're doing with Paqueta here coming so deep. He's trying to be like a one-man team. Ryan, thank you for the £2 super chat, mate. Massively appreciated. Paqueta into Souček, and Souček, he's got a simple 5-yard pass and manages it pass straight to a Leeds player. Just Souček, I can't bring Paqueta off here because everything's trying to go for him. Leeds counter-attacking here, putting us under big pressure, all backing off, and they've hit the crossbar. Backed off. No one went to him. No one tried to put a challenge on him. Let him just stroll forward, gets a shot off, big deflection. You think it's in, and luckily it's hit the crossbar. Again, just look at Irving trying to get back here. How this Irving and Souček is still on the pitch, I don't know. You've got to leave Paqueta on there because everything in midfield we're trying to put through him. But the other two got to come off. Shot from the edge of the box, deflected. Paqueta's come and got it. Everything's going through Paqueta right now. He's won a foul there, is he? It looked like a foul. That ain't a foul for Paqueta, I don't quite know, but it's a throw into West Ham, which also is the incorrect decision. Dean's got the match on now. He feels like he wants to join in the punishment. Kimbo, cheers, Frankie, for your time. It's a hard gig. Kimbo, I love it. I enjoy every second of it. I love being here with everyone. I love chatting along. I love watching the football and breaking it all down. So no, I'm all good, mate. But absolutely, thank you so much. That is massively, massively appreciated. The Leeds crowd is just getting more and more big. Look at that possession in the second half. 58 possession to us to 42% them. We have grown into this half, if you can call it that. Yeah. Pap Allen there says, how can a manager of any repute allow this non-existent midfield to remain on for 1 second longer? I couldn't agree more. Frankie, how is Souček and Irving still on? I don't know, mate. I can't get my head around it. Irving just desperately tries to get back, and he just looks so... I thought Rodriguez was slow. I'd love to see a race between Irving and Rodriguez. The tide's turned, though. We may have had more possession in this half. They've had a couple of opportunities there. in quick succession. This is another one of those where if you don't do something about it now, the game's going to be gone. I mean, it's already pretty much gone, but it will be free unless we make a change now. Michael's just asked, what's the fix? The fix is Magassa and Fernandez. Fernandez apparently is coming on now. I've just heard him say, or it's getting Potts out there in front of that back three. I think Potts would break this play up and allow Paqueta to get forward again, because we've taken Paqueta from trying to affect the attack to now the deepest midfielder coming back just to try and get his foot on the ball and try and get the ball forward. It's madness. You shouldn't be relying on Paqueta to do that. Potts can do that job perfectly well. We've seen him do it. He takes the ball on the half turn. He gets the ball moving forward. Potts can do that perfectly well. He also can drop into the back line when we're defending. So Potts comes on. It allows them, Paqueta to get forward, Fernandez to get forward. For me, it just makes sense. The West Ham Massive got to say, Frankie, I don't usually watch watch-alongs, but you're doing a brilliant job. Thank you, mate. Massively appreciate it. It is a comedy. Rex Moto Mundi says it's a comedy. Couldn't agree more. But we've got the subs that we've been calling for coming on now. So, and E. Davis has said, you can't take Paqueta off. We need to score. I agree with that. He's the only man looking capable of playing football right now. Wilson's dropped in. Paqueta's out to the left. Diouf there. Cut back rather than putting the ball across. Paqueta deep cross in and straight into the keeper's hands. Problem is when you put balls in from deep like that and you float them in, it's so easy for the keeper. If you're going to put that ball in, you've got to get pace on it. You've got to make it so the keeper's scared to come for it. Potts is coming on and Fernandez. This is what we've been asking for. But is it too little too late? That's the big question. Lee Woodard said we should get Frank Lampard in, not to manage to play. What, the junior or senior? Get up. Well done, ref. Fantastic. Whoever knocked the ref, that was brilliant. Absolute playing around, screaming, rolling around like a div. And the ref's gone, get up. Brilliant referee in that. Ian Downs, thank you, mate. Massively appreciate that. Right, the changes are happening now. Fernandez is coming on. Potts is coming on. Get Potts in front of that defence. Get Paqueta higher. Get Fernandez a bit of a free roll in there as well. And if we can get a go in the next 5 minutes, who knows what could happen. Bowen's come alive. Great 1-2 with Fernandez. Don't know why Bowen didn't try, but Fernandez straight on it, winning the ball back up high. Bowen's put the ball across. There's 3 on 1 here. Paqueta's had a bit of a pot shot and was a little bit unlucky, but that was better. Much, much better. Ken Towley, thank you, mate. Massively appreciate that. Thanks for the kind words. Bowen's knocked it into Paqueta. This is what we wanted to see. Lovely ball into Bowen. Diouf picked it up on the left, popped it into Potts. Potts, it's got to Fernandez. Good ball in. Get there. Oh, unlucky. It weren't that hard, was it? It weren't that hard. Get Fernandez on there. Get Potts in there. And things are happening. I can't get my head around it. Peter Chelmsford, woken up too late. This is it, mate. Why are these changes now? We were screaming from it from the start. He didn't give us it, and at half-time, this should have been changed. Yeah, absolutely, Glenn. Playing football all of a sudden, but not because of a change in mentality, because we've got the right players on the pitch. Now they can hear the West Ham fans. We are West Ham, Claret and Blue Army, ringing around Elland Road now. The away fans have woken up. The team's waking up. But we need something, and we need it quick. Wan-Bissaka out to Diouf on the left. Now you can hear bubbles ringing around Elland Road. So all it takes, a little bit of a showing from the team, and those fans will get right behind you. It's all us at the moment. Going out on the right-hand side, into Paqueta. Paqueta into Potts. Move that ball along, mate. Here we go. Fernandez, don't do that. Ref's giving us a free kick on the front foot for the first time in the entire match. Potts, ball across. Kilman. Out wide to Somerville. I forgot Somerville was on the pitch there for a little bit. He's not really been involved, but here we go. Puts it back to Fernandez. Fernandez into Potts on the half turn. See that half turn there from Potts? Exactly what you have to do if you want to go forward with a ball. That is what Souček and Irving can't do. Potts received that ball back foot on the half turn, and we're going forward. That's what we need to see. That's what Potts brings you. And Todibo makes a complete mess of a bouncing ball and gives it for a Leeds throw-in. But it has been better. Potts trying to get there. Early press. Forced a mistake. Kilman with a long diagonal ball to Somerville. It's a great ball, but the keeper's out well. But we've got a throw-in halfway in their half on the left-hand side. We are already playing better, 100%. West Ham massive. Probably a rhetorical question. But why was Potts bombed after coming on at Everton? Was it his introduction that was a catalyst for our improved performance? Yeah. I just think his his pre-season form suggested Potts was ready to be really given a go. And great ball from Paqueta to Bowen. Unlucky. We're alive. Paqueta's forward. We're feeding Bowen. Quick throw into Wan-Bissaka now. Come on, move. We've gone a bit flat-footed again there. Wan-Bissaka wanted some movement and we look lazy again. We don't want to drop back into that. Diouf out on the left-hand side. Somerville's got the ball there. Into Freddie Potts, sorry. Todibo. Had to come to bed. Couldn't watch that. Soon listen to you, Frankie. Sorry. You've got to watch it. Mate, David, Shelley, we're looking better. We're growing into this now. We're looking a lot better since the changes. Freddie Potts is on. Fernandez is on. And it's made a massive, massive difference. Paqueta out to Wan-Bissaka. Just started to slow things down a little bit again, which we don't need to be doing. Kilman out wide to Diouf. Diouf early cross in. Dangerous ball. Very unlucky. It's right in the danger zone. Paqueta on the edge of their box. 1-2 with Fernandez. Lovely football. Wan-Bissaka wants it out on the right. Bowen's made a run. Fernandez held onto the ball a little bit too long there. Potts is linking up well. Paqueta's thrown himself on the floor trying to win a free kick. This ref, why does he wait an age before giving a decision? Is he thinking about what to... It looked like he'd said play on after someone backed into Paqueta. Looks like Paqueta's throwing himself on the ground trying to win a free kick. And then the ref pulls it back. Potts has been so positive since coming on. The 1-2s with Paqueta, getting the ball playing well, made a massive difference. And Fernandez looks lively. Very, very lively. Yeah, Wilson's still on the pitch. He was unlucky a second ago. The ball from Diouf was a good one, right into the danger zone. The keeper couldn't come for it because of the pace. If it had got to Wilson, he might have... Ball in from Fernandez. Not a good ball. That's not a good ball. Put it straight out for a Leeds goal kick. I mean, this is the frustrating thing, isn't it? You sit here, Nuno's getting paid millions to be the manager of West Ham, to make these decisions. He's decided to continue his goals at right back, which has cost us a goal in the first minute, put us on the back back foot. He's then forced to change it. Wan-Bissaka goes over there and we look a bit better. We've then been screaming from the very beginning that Potts needs to start. How long left? We're on 71 minutes. And now we've got this midfield correct, which is what everyone asked me, what would my team be? Potts in front of the back four, Fernandes and Paqueta in front of him, and it looks so much better. I just can't understand why Nuno hasn't done this from the start. I can't. It is very, very hard to understand why he felt like Irving and Souček is the right midfield option for the last two games. Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side. Leeds back quickly, though. Organised. Poor ball into the middle of the pitch. Bowen loses possession. Long ball forward. Tadebo's got to do something with the ball here. He's done okay. Back to Areola. Peter Chelmsford, don't look. No, it doesn't make good reading. All three of them, David Green said, Potts passing the ball so much better, linking up with Paqueta. Fernandes, Paqueta and Potts are all linking up better. And they must have been sitting there wanting this. Everyone's attitude has changed since these changes have been made. Bowen looks brighter. All round, they've all lifted it because it's clear that this is what we need. Yeah, David, you're right. I've said that a couple of times. We've slowed the play down a little bit and there's no need for it. And Wan-Bissaka is one of the people that's guilty of that. Tadebo tried to play a quick ball forward to Bowen. Once again, just gives the ball straight to a Leeds player. You can't keep doing it over and over again. Him and Kilman, the pair of them, their balls out from the back so far in this game have been very, very poor. Big header from Kilman there, though. Somerville's done well. Flicked it past him. He's getting down that left-hand side. Need him to make something happen here. He's dwelled on the ball too long. Slowed it down again and then easily dispossessed. And Leeds can bring the ball out. That's frustrating from Somerville there. Oh, well done. Wan-Bissaka's nicked the ball. Wan-Bissaka on the right puts the ball across. A flick from Wilson. He tried one of them little between your legs flicks. It's unlucky. But again, a decent ball into the box. No, Papalan is right there. While we've been better, we haven't scored. But the point is, mate, if we start like this and we don't concede that goal in the first minute, we may well have done. Again, we've just made the changes far, far too late. The positive, though, is he should have seen Monday and realised he's got to do something different. He hasn't. He's then tried it again tonight, and he's been proven twice that this is something that we should not be doing. Surely now he's seen this, and when he turns up to the training ground tomorrow morning or whenever they're in training next, someone needs to be playing the last 10 minutes over on repeat on a loop in the training ground, just so it goes into Nuno's head that this is how we should play football. And then hopefully the penny drops and we start matches this way now. Bowen lost the ball forward. Leeds only got one player up there at the moment, luckily, because otherwise we could have been in a bit of trouble there. James Gunn, Tadebo couldn't pass a parcel. Leeds on the ball down their left-hand side. Tadebo's come out to try and win it, hasn't done. Big header from Diouf. Oh, he's pulled him back there, ref. Paqueta's tried to play out quickly, being held back. That's a yellow card for the Leeds player. Happy Hammerette, piss take, start with our best team, that's it. But what worries us is that Nuno thinks the last two starting lineups is our best team, which we all knew it wasn't. And now we've finally got the midfield that we've been screaming for. Things look a lot better. Yeah, Peter, that Tadebo going to Man United seems like we should have absolutely bit their arm off and literally driven him to their stadium ourselves, driven him to Old Trafford. Lee Vincent, he can't. Good ball out wide to the right. Bowen's taking it on his chest. Flick the ball up. Paqueta's won the ball. Bowen turned into a bit of trouble, but he's got some space now down the right-hand side. He's tried to flick it. He's done well. He's won us a corner. Don't remember us having a corner, so... Jose Cabral, you guys you'd rather have these guys in midfield than Alvarez. I tell you what, I would if they're looking at they're up for it here, only because Alvarez hasn't shown that he actually wants to play for West Ham, and we're going to need some serious fight from now until the end of the season. And if these boys can show what they're showing here, I'd rather that than a player who sort of says he's not interested. Diouf, a wild left-footed swing at the ball. James Gunn, Diouf is a clown. I wouldn't call him a clown, but when everyone was singing his praise and saying how excellent he was, I wasn't doing that. I felt he had weaknesses in his game, and while he showed some real positives with his crossing, I wasn't totally convinced at Diouf. I think he needs a lot of work. Somerville's being taken off. The Leeds fans are giving him a bit of stick. He looks disappointed, upset. I think he can feel upset with his performance, to be honest. Tyrrell Gunner, big up. So Walker-Peters on. Wan-Bissaka off. Somerville off. Magassa on with Walker-Peters. Mark says, I thought we needed goals. Mate, I can't argue with that comment. DC says a weird couple of subs. It looked like we was doing better. It looked like we was on the front foot. We could make more things happen. And he's actually taken a bit of sting out of the attack. Yeah, I'm not saying that Somerville was having a good game there, because he wasn't. And but it's a little bit strange what he's done there, to say the least. Protecting the two goal loss is the general feeling in the chat. The Nuno outs are starting to come. Potts has done well there. A ball into Paqueta from Diouf. Back to Diouf. Potts playing in the role that we thought he would. He's tried to put a long ball out to Bowen. It's not a bad ball. I'd rather see that positive ball. It didn't make it to Bowen. Leeds player had to cut it out, but gives us a throw-in on the right-hand side. Walker-Peters back to Todibo. A very clear back five now. Fernandez has dropped in front of the back three or five. Fernandez tried to drive it out, played an early ball into Wilson, didn't really work out. Wilson's done well there, won us a free kick. Sort of halfway between their half. Yeah, the real Simpson said destroyed Somerville's confidence. It won't do him any favours, but he weren't having a good game. And I do feel if we had a better or another left attacking option, it might have been done earlier. Dan Potts picked it up on the edge of their area. Tried to be positive, wanted to go forward. Unfortunately, couldn't because the Leeds players pressed him very quickly. Diouf tried to help him out, but we've given a throw into Leeds. Carl Collins said, late to party while his scales come off. He fell onto his back. He hurt his shoulder, whether it's a dislocated shoulder, collarbone injury. But he did look in some discomfort. So It was a shame. He made quite a bit of a mistake. He played a big hand in their first goal as well in the opening couple of minutes of the game. So he won't have had a good night tonight, Ollie Scholes, unfortunately. Walker Peters into Magassa. Magassa dropping in, getting on the ball. A little ball into Fernandez. Fernandez been very bright since coming on, but just gives the ball away. Bowen and him not on the same page. It wasn't necessarily a bad ball from Fernandez, but you've got to communicate with each other. Bowen's got on his toes, and Fernandez has played it straight off for a Leeds throw. Crazy. Lee Vincent, like your commentary through this game, mate. Honestly, everyone's been really, really nice tonight, and I really appreciate all the kind comments. Wilson's done well. A nice, good little 1-2 football. Diouf tried to have a shot from the left-hand side, won us a corner. Ian Greaves is happy we got a corner. We'll take anything we can get right now, mate. Catherine Saunders, thank you very much. Hugely, hugely appreciated. And I'd love to do watch-alongs. I'll do them anytime. Fernandez keeps moving the ball outside the corner box, and the ref rolled it back in. Why you think a couple of millimeters is going to give you any advantage from a corner, I don't quite know. Just put it within the box and kick the ball in there. Weren't a bad corner. Wilson was on his toes, looking to get on the end of it, but didn't quite get to him. Yeah, quite a few people not impressed with the referee tonight. Good ball forward. Bowen's trying to get there. Leeds have handled Bowen well tonight, actually. Lincoln Harper, this is bad fellow with pathetic shambles of a club. We can't argue with those words. But CD Bradley, thank you, mate. Massively appreciated. Good play. Lovely one-touch passing. Fernandez gone for a long shot. Didn't feel it was needed. And the keeper's kept that ball in, has he? No. Corner to West Ham. George Gillian, thank you, mate. You have to stay positive, don't you, mate? It's football at the end of the day. I'm not going to sit here effing and blinding. Head out from Leeds. Just someone want that ball. Walker Peters tries a wide ball out to Fernandez. Fernandez been very good since coming on. Played a brilliant ball through for Paqueta. Very sharp Fernandez since coming on. He's got the bit between his teeth. Fernandez has clearly wanted to show what he's made of. Dan Potts on the edge of the area, lifts the ball in. Unlucky. It's all us at the minute. We can get a goal now. It'll be an interesting end to this game. Diouf back to whip the ball in, but easily dealt with. If we could deal with crosses like Leeds, we might not have quite as many problems as we do right now. Magassa needs to win that. He has. Very good. On you to come move the ball. Gary Nelson just said there, we should have started with the team we finished with. It's the side that we all called for. It's the side that we all asked for before the game got going. This is the lineup that me and Gio asked for. And we said it was probably the most popular starting lineup from all the Hammers Chat subscribers. Just seems obvious. James Gunn, harsh on Fernandez there, my man. Says he can't beat the first round from a corner yet. Yeah, I'm supposed to pretend he's great. He certainly hasn't. I wouldn't say anyone's been great at any point tonight, but Fernandez has looked bright. He's made a lot happen. Quick 1-2s, good forward passing, positive, wanting to get the ball forward. You're right. As a professional footballer, you should be able to beat the first man from a corner. Yeah, it was sad about Stuart Pearce. I was supposed to go out to Croatia next week with Stuart Pearce for a training camp, but obviously after what's happened, I think he is still travelling actually, but it just would be, yeah, as a West Ham fan and somebody who really liked Stuart Pearce, it would have been not the same. Marcus says Millwall next year, boys. Yeehaw. The way their Millwall boys are going, they might be going the other way. Don't know what to make of Wilson here, actually, if I'm honest. Obviously, he came on because of the injury to Ollie Scholes. I mean, we've been screaming for an out-and-out striker, and I've wanted to see Wilson start because I feel like we should play our experienced striker. But he very, very little effect on this game. I could forgive it when Irvin and Souček was on and we were struggling to get the ball forward, but he's had better players around him in this last 30 minutes and he's still struggled. Yeah, Iron Nicks, that is absolutely fair. Leeds have taken their foot off the gas a little bit and they are seeing this game out quite comfortably. But I still think the fast football we've been playing, actually, if Leeds were more attacking now, we may look even better because I actually think with the energy that we've shown and with Paqueta, Fernandez and Potts all linking up, I actually think they might have got more success. Fernandez breaking down the right-hand side here. He had a bit of space, but Leeds got back really quickly. This is what frustrates me, and for some reason, the linesman's given a free kick there. But Leeds, every time we find ourselves in a bit of space, they're so quick. And they're not just one of them, they go as a team. I don't see the same from us. West Country Hammer said the team that's on now should have started. Absolutely. We all agree with that. Indie Media Productions, yeah, 2 shots on target is poor. Who called it? Someone in the chat did say they predicted 2 shots on target. So they've called that bang on as well. Commentator saying we're desperate for a centre forward. We knew that. We was all calling for it a whole way through the window. And even as the window was opening, all I kept banging on about was how much we needed a centre forward. So it's not anything we don't know. Oh, lovely frick from Fernandez. 2-1. Fernandez made a big impact in this second half. Huge. Great ball in from Jared Bowen. Lovely little flick. Game on. Show me 6 minutes. Show me 6 minutes. Mark's taken that back. Fernandez. Great ball in from Bowen. Picked him out nice. Lovely, deft little flick. Straight in the far corner. And this is it. John Fresher just said there, too little, too late. I just can't understand how these changes weren't made at half-time. I was so sure that if those changes were made at half-time, we had a chance. And I did say that if the problem is, if he starts with the same lineup, that's conceding the game. Basically, we haven't got a chance. And it's exactly what's unfolded. 4 minutes. We've got 4 minutes to go. We're on the attack again. Ball into the box. Dealt with by Leeds. There's enough time here. DC says Nuno cost us the game today. I couldn't agree more. He certainly didn't help. Bowen out to Kilman. The ball's on down the line, but Kilman's decided not to give it and cut back. I can't understand why you'd decide that in the 91st minute of the game, why you want to give that ball down the line quickly. and then we play a long ball into the box. So we're out on the left. We've got an opportunity to get down the line and whip the ball in. Instead, we choose to cut back. This is in the 91st minute of the game, by the way, with 3 minutes to go, desperate to try and get a goal. And we decide playing the ball back to a defender and lumping a long ball in for the keeper to just come out and catch it was a better idea. I can't get my head around that. In the game, the Newcastle game's a tough one. Newcastle are a far, far better team than Leeds are, and it's a worry. But we've just got to start with this side that we've ended with. Yeah, I don't understand Tadibo. The geezer's just why you'd have that arrogance and attitude when you're so poor. I can't get on board with that at all. Come on in, bring it forward. Get there, Bowen. Well done. Get down that line. Yeah, we'll have that. Yeah, yellow cards are flying around at the moment. 3-2 still on. Again, Leeds there. They've smashed Walker Peters. But the perfect place to do it. Professional game management. Don't let us get on that counter-attack. Take the man out. Give away the foul. I just feel sometimes we're so naive as a football team. That was very switched on. James Justin there. Just exactly the right decision. Take the man out. Slow the game down. There's only a minute to go. Long ball in from Fernandez. Bowen's tried to win it. It's fell to Bowen on the edge of the box. It's wide. Put it in. Deuce tried to whip one in. Cut out. Too easy. And it's a free kick to Leeds. That could be it. That could be it. Time now is 93 minutes and 42 seconds. I think by the time they take this free kick, they'll run that clock down. And I think that'll be it. Diggy Hodges, I coach my team to play football. We don't get involved in any of that. We always focus on playing football. Lee Vincent, he's got to see what he's seen here, and the penny has got to have dropped. Surely. If Potts, Fernandez and Paqueta do not start the next match, there's something very, very, very wrong. The ref looks to be playing on here. Can we? No, he's blown up. 2-1. It's all over. Lee FR, thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Tough. I think we can take a bit out from the from how we've ended there. Simon, thank you. Mark, thank you. Massively appreciated. I've got to work out what I've got to do now. I think I leave this one and I think I come back on the review show, I think. So I just got to check the notes from Gio, and I might see you all again over there in a second. I will give a different take on it. As I said, when I'm watching games, I always stay positive. I will give the harsh reality of that in the post-match review. So, yeah, if anyone's watched this and already heard it all and think you'll hear the same, do pop over, because I will switch it up a little bit now. Yeah, so I'll pop over there and I'll see you all on the review in a bit. Thank you very much, everyone who's jumped in. Really appreciate it. Appreciate everyone staying with me and getting involved. Drop a like on this one and I'll see you all over on the post-match review in a bit.